So it's a lot easier. I don't have to do all that other stuff.
Yeah, 6 hours and $100 later for 2 minutes of missionary. I just don't see the benefit.
That was perfect timing from the great Michael Wellington, who is going to be coming into studio. He is the chair of Birdies for Bipolar, where portions of the proceeds from the Dotem will be going, and he's going to be in studio on the 11th, I believe at 9 o'clock. And he just said he would love to discuss Hinge with Jackson next week. St. Louis is the worst in the nation. Doug, what does that mean?
What is Hinge?
It's a dating app, right?
Yeah.
What is it? How does that differ from Bumble and Tinder? I realize most of our audience says, how do you not know that? I've been with the same lady since 2008, and I have never experienced the app dating phenomenon.
I'm sure I'm happy to break it down for you. Hinge is like a lot of prompts. So like where a lot of other like Bumble, but the twist of Bumble is that the girl has to message first. Hinge's kind of thing is that there's prompts that you answer, so it kind of gives you more of a view into their personality, more so than say Tinder or Bumble. But all three, Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, are pretty similar. Hinge just allows for more. I guess it just gives a deeper look into the person with the prompts. You can also like put like little audio messages in there. But they're all three fairly similar, each one having like their own kind of twist. Tinder's kind of like the Grint of dating apps.
Wow.
That's where you find your Granite City 4s.
Tinder is, well, it's because Tinder's been around so long, and maybe it's their...
So Tinder is the Grint of dating apps.
You see a lot of like, not like bots, but you like clearly fake people or like, it's just, I don't know. Tinder is not my favorite of the apps. Bumble and Hinge are certainly.
I wonder why Wellington says St. Louis is the worst.
I don't know. Hinge, sometimes you go through, you do like a 2-minute swipe session, you're like, a little dry.
Let me tell you something. When I'm down there with Wellington and Juketown, baby, we gets down, baby, for the crown, baby. I mean, that guy, how do you do?
Good-looking dude.
What do you mean, that guy? How do you do? What does that mean?
Lots to choose from?
On Hinge.
I don't know on what app. I have no idea. I just know that he's like, hey, you and Anna Marie want to meet up? I'm out with whoever. And
Sapphire.
Sapphire's I believe her name is Sapphire.
Yeah, he's not hurting for companionship.
How about that, Doug?
Are you?
No.
No.
But I'm not trying.
Okay.
And I don't look like Wellington. If I was looking like Wellington, I'd probably be out every night.
Think so? You would?
Yeah, probably.
But I thought you were at home pleasuring yourself and happy about it.
It was a hassle 5 minutes ago.
It was, but if I had Wellington's looks, I knew I could just step out the door and I could find whoever I wanted to, and it'd be like, it's not going to take me long.
Well, a girl once told me that Hinge is more looking for like deeper actual relationships more so than, a fun evening.
Yeah, they have a motto, and I like their motto. Their
You know Hinge's motto?
Yeah, it comes up on my golf rival. I got to watch these videos.
I know what you're talking about.
And one of them, it says Hinge, the app that's meant to be deleted.
Right, that's their tagline.
Well, what's that supposed to mean?
Because you're going to find somebody you're not going to need it anymore or want it anymore. Yeah. You're going to be happily partnered.
Yeah, it's really good marketing.
Let's be honest, though. These apps, all guys download them for one thing. Hooking up.
That's not necessarily true.
You can have, mostly, I didn't say 100%, but mostly.
I would agree with that.
Whatever the caveat is, the app, the girl messaging first, more of a personality test. I get that. You're just trying to separate yourself from the other hookup sites. Because guys don't download Hinge and go, I'm not looking for a hookup. This is straight dating. I at least want 2 weeks worth of dating. No, they're all looking for hookups. Now, if it happened to turn into a relationship, me and Madison met on Tinder.
Did you? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Although you probably said it and I just forgot.
Yeah. So I mean, there are love stories that come out of it, but I wasn't on Tinder to find love. I wouldn't say that. So things happen.
And we talked about it on Papa and Genie the other day. I saw the ad for Bumble. Bumble has a new feature, online, in person or whatever.
Nice.
Not in person. What's you're watching over the camera?
Online.
Online dating trivia. Meet someone and get online and play trivia games together.
Why were they talking in that voice?
Nobody's playing trivia. You get online, the clothes are coming off. You're not playing trivia. Who said this? Seinfeld? Big Bang Theory. Oh, you got it wrong. That's not happening. You get online. Hi, Sue. Hi, Tim. Close her off.
Yep.
It's
When I
just
met Sue, her
immediately?
clothes came off immediately. That's correct.
I don't know how many people, maybe it's just my generation, who are often cybering. I don't think I've ever.
Those are the glory days.
You used to cyber a lot, bro?
Love cybering. Love it.
And that is always with a camera.
Sometimes it's just, you're typing it out on AIM chat.
That's what Iggy did in the 90s as a bi-female.
But this time, it was a female.
How do you know that if you're not?
It wasn't a chat room. It was a one-on-one
Like a
with
FaceTime?
somebody that you know. No, not a FaceTime necessarily. I mean,
Just
I have
texting
done
on the
that.
phone.
Yeah, texting, talking on the
It's texting. It's sexting.
Yeah, but it's cybering.
Is that?
You're reading,
Yeah, you can send voice recordings.
reading while you do it. You can just open up
Pictures.
a book.
Little pics. Oh yeah.
Do you ever take a selfie of yourself and send it to your gal pet?
Especially with that hog you're managing.
I sent a hog pic or two. Yeah. I mean, I had to do a Dropbox.
You got my number, right?
Send it, but
You're hearing TMA all day on KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis, featuring the Ryan Kelly Morning After, live from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Then a full show replay from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., followed by the best of TMA from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m., and another same-day replay starting at 10 p.m. Find the full schedule at TMASTL.com. Brought to you by Ryan Kelly at thehomeloanexpert.com, the most efficient mortgage process you'll ever experience.
Doug Vaughn here alongside Ryan Kelly, the home loan expert. Ryan, rates are high, but you're still finding a way to get people a good mortgage. How do you do it?
Yeah, we work really hard for our clients. We watch the markets. We watch the rates. They swing a quarter point a day some days right now. And that's why you need an expert to lock you in at the right time. And then we have these incredible programs like our interest rate rewind, where for the first year, your rate will be 2 full points lower. The second year, a point lower. And then year 3, it goes to the current rate. Thinking about buying a house? Maybe a refinance? Got questions? Apply online today at thehomeloanexpert.com.
Celebrate all your college and fantasy teams' Tully touchdowns this weekend with Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. May your team be swift and their aim be true. May the refs be forever in your favor and your whiskey always Tullamore Dew. Tullamore Dew, the original triple blended, triple distilled, smooth sipping Irish whiskey, made exactly for game day moments like this. When it's game time, it's Tully time. Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume. Imported by William Grant & Sons Incorporated, New York, New York. Please enjoy Tullamore Dew responsibly.
This is Tim McKernan. I'd like to tell you about a company I started just a couple of years ago and I still own. And it's called Sound Story. It's essentially a 1-hour interview that we do either in person or via Zoom with mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers. They come in and they tell their stories, education, growing up, and of course, family stories, the wisdom that they can share with their loved ones for generations to come. It's an audio heirloom. It's Sound Story. To learn more, go to mysoundstory.com.
The best authentic Southwestern cuisine awaits you at Santa Fe Bistro in Creve Coeur. Open for lunch and dinner with happy hour Monday through Friday, 3:30 to 6, and Saturdays, 2:30 to 4. Daily drink and entree specials and 72 tequilas, as well as a vast selection of beer on draft and by the bottle. Wear a jersey or team gear for Blues and NFL games and get a free drink with the purchase of an entree. Nothing says authentic Southwestern cuisine quite like Santa Fe Bistro. West of 270 on Olive. Same plaza as the old TGI Fridays location. Full menu at SantaFeBistroMO.com.
Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on KPNT FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, The Plowboy, and Action Jackson.
707 in St. Louis, you are listening to the Ryan Kelly Morning After. Welcome to the Mugganass St. Louis Acura Alton Toyota, 7 o'clock hour. We are in the Michelob Ultra Studios. My name is Timothy Michael McKernan. Sitting across from me, if you're watching on MSNBC, is Douglas Alvin Vaughn. Sitting next to him, if you are watching on YouTube, at youtube.com/TMASTL, is Kenneth Iggy Strode with his Keishi 55th birthday hoodie.
Today's our birthday.
Is that right? Today is literally the day they went on the air 55
Today's
years
the
ago.
actual 55th birthday.
Doug, when will they have our 55th birthday for the HD2 station?
Well, I guess I would be 50. I'd be like 120 years old. Or
It'll be
so.
fun. It'll be a fun show.
Yeah.
by that time we'd have that TMA house built in the Hamptons.
Yep.
So maybe we could
Oh,
just.
for heaven's sakes.
Yeah, the
yes.
blueprints are in.
You three, you Jackson, Tim, and Plowsy will still be around, so
Is that right?
maybe you can come over and just have a cake at me and Doug's grave.
I don't know, bro. I eat like.
Cake? Who brings cake to a grave? I don't want cake there. I don't want you guys to have crumbs all over my gravesite. Something cleaner, please.
Pudding?
A pudding would be fine.
Jackson, get
That's
the
what
pudding.
we'll be eating in the
What
final
about little
days of our
Jello
lives.
squares?
On it.
That's okay also.
Jackson's going to get the pudding.
It is barbecue.
Be fine.
You guys going to get buried, cremated, or what?
I'm gonna get planted a tree.
Didn't mean to bring up that topic.
No, I think
Start the
it's a
show,
good topic. It's better than the blues.
Well, it feels the same.
Yeah, I assume you got the will tended to a while ago.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
attended to that, I guess about 4 or 5 years ago. So then you have to, like, workshop that. You have to do a deep dive on that. Well, you don't have to, but...
Well, yeah, you don't necessarily make your funeral arrangements, but you
can tend to it.
You could,
my
yeah.
attorney had that question in there for me and my betrothed.
It's something you think, well, I don't ever have to think about that. You realize, well, everyone else who's ever lived has had to think about that. Yeah.
Is your plot on your estate?
I don't
Is
have
that
a plot yet. Oh, I guess I could get buried out by the barn off.
Yep. That's
I didn't even
the
think
place
about
you should
that.
do it.
You'd be like the Duttons, where they have that family plot there on Yellowstone. That's just where.
Yeah, you got one right under the tree.
I guess I could start a family plot in the backyard if I make the house hard to sell for the next fella.
I'll keep it a secret. What a program we have for you today. I don't know if the audience will be able to handle what is going on here today.
What's going on?
What?
Well, of course, Lisa Ann makes her glorious return. She had a nice little vacation in Switzerland, just like we're all planning to do here in the next couple of weeks. She'll be with us at 9 o'clock. That is coming your way with your two-part questions. Obviously, we will have what Doug calls Takes Aplenty on your St. Louis Blues. Plowhawk is going to break down Missouri's special teams against Kentucky's special teams. Probably have a uniform reveal. We're going to have a celebration on the Blake Baker contract extension. I'm happy about it. And then ILL's taking on Sparty. What's the number on that, Plowhawk? Have you been monitoring that?
I thought you said was it? It was surprising.
I've watched college spreads be mobile this week, Doug. The spreads are mobile this week.
Okay.
Like the Kentucky, not Kentucky. Well, Kentucky's only a 1-point underdog now. But unlike last week, just a little fun fact for no and tell, do with it what you want. I'm not telling people what to do. It's not my style. But the money this week is on Kentucky, even though the number has moved more like in Missouri's direction.
Michigan State plus 14.5.
Yeah, thought it was around the 2-touchdown mark.
Missouri hadn't
That's a
beaten
tough
Kentucky in years. Have they? Did they win last
They
year?
beat them in 20. Jackson and I were either talking about this
It's been a while.
on the air or off air yesterday.
Yeah.
We talked about it, though. We have a surprise none of all y'all are aware of at 7:35.
What?
That's the surprise. What do you think? I'm going to ruin the surprise here when I'm in the middle of trying to get better at teasing?
Can we get initials on the surprise or something?
No. It's straight up surprise.
Like
And
a
those
guest?
watching on YouTube will get a chance to see the surprise.
A guest is coming in.
Sassy Cassie in town?
I will not be giving off any tells. I've stared down Phil Ivey in the World Series of Poker. I'll stare down you hoes, too. And I say that respectfully.
We're not hoes.
Cassie Moore fly private. Did you see
That
one?
actually would be wonderful, and I'm dead serious because I know some of the events they're working on for our program. I would love to see us get Cassie Moore in for an event.
Imagine live steadfast out.
Oh!
Jesus.
Ah!
It wouldn't be hard. She doesn't sing. She can just talk her way through it.
Jackson, you think we can arrange that while you're out getting pudding?
Right. Well, first I'll get the tapioca,
Thank you.
and then I'll
Wait,
test that
are we getting the pudding for my funeral already?
Well, this is for your grave. This is for when
This is
we're,
when we visit
Gravesite.
gravesite. Yeah, we're going to do a remote.
when we're
We have a
live
refrigerator to keep
graveside.
it fresh at least.
Yeah, tapioca holds about 10, 12 years, maybe 25.
That's correct.
All right.
And then Cassie, if she did Steadfast Eyes,
Oh!
I would be. Oh, that'd be awesome.
Oh, man. What would she wear on stage?
Oh,
Doesn't matter. It's the song that's important.
Maybe some of the audience in the 7 o'clock hour, Doug, as you know, the listeners, they cycle on, they cycle off. Haven't heard Steadfast Eyes, so Plowhawk, if you wouldn't mind.
Yes.
And then there would be a reunion of her in Wellington, or he get to meet her for the first time.
Wow, 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 wow.
Uniforms are out, by the way.
Yeah, I saw
Missouri
it
uniforms are out?
yesterday,
Yeah.
right?
All black everything?
It looks. Nope. Oh, you're gonna like this.
Gold pants?
Gold pants, black jerseys.
As it should be. How
there
about
it
the
is.
helmet? Can the helmet please be black?
Helmet looks to be. We're back to the oval tiger, the power tiger look, with the yellow face mask And it's military appreciation, so they have some sticker on there.
Okay.
Doug, you got to be happy with those
All right.
uniforms.
Yeah. That's more like what Missouri's supposed to look like.
Yes.
Oh, here we go again. She might play this at one of our events.
It's something I'd like to see Jackson knock out along with the pudding.
There won't be a dry pair of you trow in the house.
Can you imagine, like, there's just a pudding table, and there's, like, listeners
yeah.
listening to this? And
What would you
this-
get, Doug? Banana pudding? I really like banana pudding with the.
Chocolate.
Do you like? Watch this. Not a vanilla wafer, a Nilla wafer.
I don't like that.
That's pretty good.
I
Saves
don't like
time.
it. I don't care for
Can
it.
you imagine getting, like, a pudding flight?
Plain old vanilla pudding's really good.
Oh, dude, the banana with the vanilla wafer in it, that's fire.
Is that fire?
Oh, it's fire.
Is she bringing her own auto tune, or do we have to bring it?
T-Pain will be here.
So blue,
Look, Jackson starts singing.
so blue.
Is she making any money on this at all, you think?
This has 200 more views than
Yep,
2
we're
days
making
ago.
things happen.
It
I'm
is.
not kidding. Like,
It might climb the Apple charts.
She has 19 subscribers, I saw.
20 now.
Yeah.
Oh, picked
Well,
it
it's a
up.
start.
This song is
trying.
legitimately good.
Yeah,
Oh, come
it's
on.
No, it is. I really like it.
Yeah, maybe
She's
I'd
giving
like
it an
my
effort. That's
paradise.
more than we're doing.
Yeah, I,
Whoa.
We're getting
Nice.
tapioca, Doug.
Yeah. I will.
Yeah, but sometimes the effort and the payout, you know, when you have one that has 5 views,
Yeah. Well, not every business startup is successful, but at least you're trying.
It's about resiliency.
I'm not trashing the effort. I'm just saying she's not very good.
well,
Yeah.
Well, you're on an island on that one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Me and the 19 subscribers.
Jackson and his boys seem to like it.
Yep. Herb is a huge fan of
Herb
Cass.
texted me about it.
Did he
Jackson-
really?
No.
Jackson will
Oh,
be
wow.
dancing.
Jackson fired at the pot, and I just folded. I had 9s. I just didn't want to play for my stack with 9s.
I bet he does like it though. I'll
Will
text
you-
him right now.
Will you dance topless to this tune?
A tin roof.
Yeah.
If they played it, yeah. I mean, I'd probably keep my top on. But if they play it a second time, like an encore, yeah, then you'd have to see the nips.
Do any of your friends ever say, "Hey, Jackson, nice top"?
Tim, Cassie can borrow the auto-tune Gaga used when she was here. That's from the Birthday Hawk, and we're underway.
Yeah, okay.
I want to do a jersey swap with that brown shirt for Herb.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
You'd like to have that shirt of your own?
I
Maybe
got-
he
him
can
to
tell
sign
you where
it.
he got it.
Like, you see that picture from like a Vegas club several years back where the guys are trading like dance shirts and they're all
Yeah.
sweating after a night of clubbing.
Yeah. Like in the NFL. Yeah.
You go to Kohl's, I'm sure there's probably racks of them.
That thing is
You'd shop
vintage.
forever and not find that thing. You gotta have to be online.
I was blown away by the fact that that was found anywhere.
It probably came from Europe somewhere, Eastern Europe.
Yeah, the fact that he wore it but then pulled it off is the thing.
Yeah, well, it's the hog. That's the key.
Yeah.
If the guy's not well hung, I don't think it works.
I could see someone wearing that in Gdansk or Rotterdam.
Rotterdam.
3-tone
Yeah,
brown
you get
stripe.
those shirts in Europe. They can't be found here.
Dusseldorf?
Yeah, that's a possibility.
Big surprises coming up on the program today in studio, so I would make sure you're watching on YouTube, youtube.com/TMASTL. Doug, it is scheduled to occur in 17 minutes.
Who's coming in here?
Then at 9 o'clock, Lisa Ann with us. 9:45, Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Call in, as so many ladies are right now. Steve Schmidt Kia, North County phone line 6369004 TMA. And, of course, text in 314-881-TMA5, Engineer Design Facilities. Text inbox, EDF's Fire Division, now testing, inspecting, and maintaining the fire system on all commercial kitchen and restaurant hoods. EDF can handle all of your company's security and surveillance needs, from surveillance cameras to access card readers to facial recognition software and everything in between. If you have visibility to your company or place of business's commercial fire alarm panel and system, email fire@edf-rg.com, and they will have a technician come out and provide a free evaluation of your system and offer the most competitive contract pricing in the market. You can also check them out anytime at edf-rg.com. That's engineered, designed facilities. Doug,
Yeah.
the Blues, indeed.
Well, I'm not going to be much good to you today, not after watching that. Not after seeing our club sink to last place in the Central Division, last place in the Western Conference, and tied for last in the whole league.
Oh, boy.
6 points and 6 points only. I got a slew of Blues on my fantasy hockey team. They're doing nothing.
Don't draft with your heart.
Well, it's just been tough. I thought last night they had something. They took a lead, and then nothing after that.
I didn't watch the game. Did they show any glimpses of Doug Armstrong in a box, or
No.
what his reaction? I kind of figured after that.
They scored twice, and the Zebras took it away from them both times.
Yeah, that was kind of random.
Both times.
The issue was they did really play damn well in the first period. The first 10 to 12 minutes, it was dominating. I don't know what the audience's opinion was, but I felt like that could have been 3 goals. And they're going up against a hell of a goalie, and he played really well. But the Blues also played really well. And Doug, if it was a boxing match, I would have scored it 10-8.
Would you?
10-8. That's how I would have scored it.
All right.
On the other hand, I would have stopped the fight in the second period and protected the Blues because, holy crap, right out of the gate, 14 seconds in.
They gave up 4 goals in that period.
And taking penalties. There was a 5-on-3, and the Islanders took a 2-1 lead. And off we go. By the end, the Blues were trying to mount a Sunday charge. It didn't work out.
No.
The Islanders get an empty netter, and that's where you could hear Chris Kerber on 101 ESPN get a little frustrated. Plowhawk clip 5.
What'd he say? Hit the lever, Plowsy. Hit the lever, Plowsy.
Oh, stop, Doug.
All
It
right.
takes a second to load.
The lever, Plowsy.
Islanders win it. It's going to slide down. It's going to go in. Just a lucky play along the wall, and the Islanders get the empty net to take a 5-2 lead with 1:32 to go. They had 2 guys on the puck. The Blues had 3, and the Islanders won the battle.
Oh, well.
He is kind of done.
Let's see what they had to say afterwards. Here's Craig Berube on the team's response after Doug Armstrong had that closed-door meeting with the team earlier this week. That's clip 3, Plowhawk, clip 3.
Hit the lever, Plowsy.
Well, I think the response was in the right way. I think that our team came out prepared and ready to go.
Nice.
All right.
What up, Rube?
Nice. This is like going back to TV where we have 2-second sound.
That soundbite wasn't long enough.
Here's Craig Berube on all the goals coming in from close range. And boy, that just continues to happen. That was the thing that they were talking about earlier this week. Can't have that continue to happen. And it's what happened more often than not again.
Lever, please. Push.
They had a lot of their goals were in tight. I know.
Yeah, we're not doing a good enough job there. It's freebies, we're not boxing people out. We're watching back of the net. They make a play out front. We're not into the guy. It's mental mistakes more than anything, in my opinion. I thought we competed hard tonight. There was a lot of good things. Yeah, the goals they're not coming. They're not there, chances, but, I get it. We're not producing very, very much.
Craig Berube,
Yeah.
flustered.
You have to wonder if they have a good enough defense core to go anywhere this year. I think that's probably their biggest issue. They just don't have a deep enough defensive unit.
And you know what the biggest issue on that whole thing is? A lot of those guys who are problematic are under contract for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, Colton Parayko now may be the worst Blues contract I've seen in my time. And obviously, I've only lived here 10 years. I mean, I haven't followed the Blues a ton when I was a kid. So, but in terms of watching a player play hockey, I've never seen somebody regress so much.
Yeah, it seems like he was a lot better 3-4 years ago.
It's unbelievable. He doesn't. I don't know if he understands how to play defense. He's what is he? A -8, no goals, 2 assists on the entire season. Everybody's struggling. I get that, but if I point out one dude, Colton Parayko, it's embarrassing to watch because you see him pregame and you see him. It's like, okay, this dude's a machine.
Yeah.
And he absolutely plays like Torrey Krug. Just that small mindset, and he just gets fleeced every time. He has just no defensive mindset. He's been playing horrible the last 2.5 years.
So you like his game?
Oh, he's just terrible. I don't know if he would say any different either. I mean, I don't know what positives you can bring out of it.
I thought one of the most emblematic elements of the streak, which now sits at 6 games, their longest in 8 years, if I'm not mistaken, was when it looked like you were going to have this perfect opportunity for a breakaway. And O'Reilly thinks he's hitting, it was Mikkola, right?
Coming out
of the box.
Yeah.
Fires the puck up there, but isn't able to clear it. The Islanders intercept the pass, and then go in for a goal. So in a matter of about 3 seconds, what you think could be a goal for the Blues then is reversed, puck isn't cleared, and then, Doug, as you say, how do you do?
Well, I'm doing fine. And now you get to go to Boston and play one of the best teams in the league.
Jim Montgomery.
Mm-hmm. And they don't play all weekend? What's up with that?
They said they wanted to watch
schedule.
the Tennessee-Georgia game.
I don't know. You don't play Friday, Saturday, or Sunday? How many Saturdays do you get off in the NHL?
They wanted to watch Missouri-Kentucky.
I don't know that they did.
I think they got a box, actually.
That's correct.
Has any team in the NHL ever started out 3-0 and then lost their next
I'm sure it's
lost their next 78?
No, won their first 3, then lost their next 6.
I don't know. You'd have to do some research on that.
I'm not. I was just curious.
No, I didn't think you would.
And Army.
We are asked a lot of questions from Maggie that put us on the clock for the research, for the answers.
Well, you think about it, because a team starts off 3-0, you think, oh, they're on a roll.
Right. It probably
and then
never
lose
happened.
6 in a row.
Probably hasn't happened, I wouldn't think.
Well, somebody print that. They'd be a first. Don't want that in the paper.
Here's what Jeremy Rutherford printed this morning on The Athletic. As Blues GM Doug Armstrong suggested, his team may just not be good enough. This is what he wrote. So perhaps we should start to focus on one 13-word sentence Armstrong said about the team Tuesday. Quote, if it's not underperforming and this is just the ability that they have, and then he began to trail off. We'll get to the way Armstrong finished that sentence in just a bit, but let's look at the front end of it. Are the Blues just not a good team? They started off 3-0, and a couple of those games weren't masterpieces, but their 2-0 triumph in Edmonton was. It really was. For those of you who watched it, that was a Saturday afternoon game. Even so, it appeared the pieces were in place, and now it seems like the Blues are crumbling, but perhaps that is who they are. Yes, we're still just 9 games into an 82-game schedule, but as Armstrong suggested, 10% of the season will quickly turn into 20%. On Monday, the Blues will be at Boston, which is number 1 in the NHL standings at 10-1, so it could become a 7-game losing streak, and then after that, it's Philadelphia and San Jose, and it's on to Vegas, which is number 2 in the league. So, point being, it can happen really quick where you go, holy crap, maybe we think that this team could be good, but we're getting to a spot now where we've got a hella hole to climb out of. Doug, as you described it, a gape.
I call it a hella hole. I like that.
You like that?
It's a hella hole, and it's a hella hole. Nice. Well, they've gotten next to nothing from some players that were supposed to be the key players. Right now, Krug is -11, Kyrou -15, O'Reilly -12. They've got no scoring at all from Neighbors that people thought was going to be, well, he's got a goal.
Nice.
Neighbors we thought was going to be a good rookie. O'Reilly has really done nothing offensively. Barbashev has done nothing offensively, and some of these guys were 20-goal scorers last year.
They have been outscored 8-1 in the second period in their last 2 games, and 18-6 in the second period overall this season.
That second stanza, man, if we could just do away with that.
Doug, is it the long change?
I don't know if it's the long change.
When does it get to where Army, and I don't love Doug Armstrong, and you're going to have seasons like this. So I think what he's done with this franchise, him and Stillman, you can't beat him up for anything. But when does this get so bad to where you start, I wouldn't say fire sale, but certainly start making some wholesale roster changes?
I don't think you're there yet.
No, I didn't know. Obviously Boston might be a tough one. That might be a 7-game losing streak. And
I think there's probably a process. Well, I don't think there is. I'm very confident there is a process where you go, what in the hell's going on? We got to fix it. And then when you see yet another performance like that, especially what continues to plague the team, the second period where you see another team make an adjustment and the Blues don't respond, the Islanders go more of an attack mode and the Blues just don't have the response, that then you start asking this question, are we just not good enough? And that, I think, it's kind of like the stages of anger, the stages of grief. That's what is at the moment going on. And as we talked about, if they're just not good enough, a lot of it will be pointed at what they have as far as giving long-term contracts to a couple of guys who at the moment aren't doing much, and then also they are committed to some defensemen who are just not performing either. And that puts you in a bad spot because you are stuck.
I think you would probably give it 20 games before you start to dismantle, if it comes to that. 9 clearly is not enough. I think you got to give them maybe at least twice this much to let it play out. You got to think some of these guys are better than what we've seen. They always have been.
How do you dismantle? Because Tim was talking about a lot of the guys that aren't performing have big contracts, so nobody's going to want them. So you're just going to start dumping your young guys and bringing up younger guys and see what they do?
Well, I don't know. That's why Armstrong.
It's too early in the year to start making trades. You know, people don't know what they need. Oh, yeah, he's available. Let's get him. I mean,
well, guys get hurt all kinds of times of the year. So teams have needs still. Teams that think they're going to be a contender, they'll have needs.
Just tank for Connor Bedard at this point.
Plowhawk is officially calling for a tank on November 4th.
Now, they're right there in the running.
I think
they're tied with Columbus.
Yeah, Columbus, yeah.
One of their wins.
Yeah.
Jeremy Rutherford, friend of the program, here on this program every Wednesday at 9 o'clock, brought to you by Mark Hanna of Evergreen Wealth Strategy, says, did the Blues have an internal issue with the fact that Kyrou was signed to an 8-year, $65 million contract? Yes. There's perhaps some resentment about the 24-year-old's receiving a monster deal before he'd fully proven himself, and his mistake-prone play so far this season may have only exacerbated that. It's believed that a veteran player on more than one occasion this season has addressed Kyrou's lackadaisical performance with him, and there's been no significant change yet. That's in this morning's Jeremy Rutherford column. Now, let's go to the way that Armstrong finished that sentence from the top of the article. If it's not underperforming, and this is just the ability that they have, ... then we're going to get to that part that I don't want to get to. Can we play certain players in different groups, NHL teams, and trying to gain assets to go into a rebuild? Rebuild.
He said he doesn't like the word re. He doesn't like any word with re in it, so they have to start over. I could see how the Kyrou thing could get under the skin of some people off the ice. When you're out there playing, you're still kind of playing for your own career. I don't think anybody else on the team is not going to hustle to get back on defense because Kyrou's got a big contract. I don't think that kind of thing happens. Well, you'd hope not. But I could see how there could be some resentment among some of the veterans who never got that kind of contract. And now to see Kyrou really struggle out of the gate.
I guess if Berube did not get a say in that, I'm wondering how that conversation
I truly was surprised that they gave him that contract only because in reading between the lines, Doug, I've made the analogy with, we were both covering the Cardinals when J.D. Drew was here. You could tell if you knew how to read Tony La Russa's words in between the lines that he was not a fan. And that's what I have felt like here, a couple decades later, listening to Craig Berube talk about Jordan Kyrou. But at the same time, nothing against Berube, but Kyrou is going to be in the league longer than Berube's the Blues head coach. And so if the Blues were like, we got to lock this guy up, we're going to lock him up. But I was surprised that was done. And this is not results-oriented. This is based on just the sense that Kyrou drives Berube up the wall. And I don't know that, for the record. That no one has told me that. That's just reading between the lines and hearing him talk.
I was surprised Thomas got what he got, too. Well, I could see where he's a good player, but I would rather have David Perron than Robert Thomas. Perron's a far more productive player than Thomas. Thomas gets a lot of assists, but he's never really lit up the scoreboard. Maybe he will, but so far he hasn't.
You know Harrison's brother Master, right?
Yeah.
He says Jordan Kyrou's contract is an extreme issue.
Well, it doesn't kick in until next year, so I would say if he plays like this next year when he's, 8.5 AV, then maybe it will be an issue.
Well, it could be an issue with the salary cap. But again, if you're a player, are you going to let Jordan Kyrou's salary affect the way you play on the ice? That'd be crazy if you did. You're going to hurt your own career because of that?
You're welcome to text in on the topic or call in 314-881-TMA5, Engineer Design Facilities text inbox, or call into the Steve Schmidt Kia of North County phone line 636-9004. TMA. We are in the Munganess, St. Louis Acura Alton Toyota 7 o'clock hour, and we will be reading your emails coming up in the 9 o'clock hour, which is brought to you by Maggie O'Brien's, and Lisa Ann will join us at 9 o'clock, and we are less than 2 minutes away from, Doug, what you would describe as a surprise here.
A surprise guest?
Jackson will be escorting the surprise right into our studio, and he doesn't even know he's doing it.
Oh. I was about to say. I haven't been briefed.
Yep. This is, it's top. It was described as classified.
It's like the old TV show, I've Got a Secret.
Yep.
It's going to make me look really bad if David Tell walks in there.
I think it's a hot dog cart, right?
From the hot dog stand from the Dotem last year. Design Air, sponsor of our email of the day. Design Air Heating and Cooling is online at designairservice.com. The weather is wonderful. I mean, thanks to Iggy. He called it. He told us. And he's delivering yet again.
Today, they say it could get up into the 80s.
What?
Well, that ain't happening.
I heard 81 possibly today.
No, it's going to be warm, though.
Or is that tomorrow?
A little breezy.
Oh, the Hawk's going to be up?
Tomorrow. Yeah, today it could get to
Are you going to hit the
80.
ball with a lower traj then, Doug?
Well, I will, yeah. I'll trudge it down.
Yeah, I'm going to flight it.
Oh,
yeah. But now is the time to get that furnace maintenance check with Design Air Heating and Cooling, because you're not going, oh, God, what happened here? All of a sudden we're freezing. It's not working. Because guess what? The high next Saturday, the high, 48 degrees with Hawk. 48 degrees with Hawk. We'll be bundled up watching Missouri go into Knoxville and shock the world, Jack. That's what we're going to be doing. Bundled up. ILL goes to Ann Arbor the following weekend, right, Plowhawk?
Yeah.
I think they're on the 19th.
Yep.
Here's a good prop bet for you.
Design Air Heating and Cooling, designairservice.com, the official HVAC provider of the Ryan Kelly Morning After. Doug's client. I'm a client. God bless.
Maybe Design Air will use this prop. What will be higher, the temperature today or the points scored by Tennessee?
I guess you haven't seen that Missouri defense and Blake Baker's contract extension.
Well, nobody stops Tennessee.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to...
Oh, I should have guessed it.
Welcome to the Michelob Ultra Studios. Tease this? This is a surprise.
Didn't you say
Casey,
something yesterday?
We talked about this yesterday.
Casey, would you like to...
Yeah, I'll get to the Cook studio.
She doesn't know what that means, but here, I'm going to get Iggy on.
Casey, welcome to... the Ryan Kelly Morning After. I know this is probably a career highlight to be on HD2 radio when you host Morning Drive on WIL.
You know, I have to say I've never been on HD2 before.
Doug, see, I told you.
It's a new one.
Yep.
hadn't either.
This is kind of the big leagues here, so welcome.
What an honor.
Yeah, see, Doug? You know Darren Atkins, don't you?
We've never actually...
Is that your name?
Yeah, it
Clip
is.
that off.
Well, it's not that weird of a name, Darren.
No, it's not weird. It's a great name. I should know it.
Yeah, I've hardly ever called it here or in this studio, so I understand why people may not know it, though.
He told us years ago he was from the Peoria area, and he grew up on a farm, so we started calling him the Plowboy.
Oh, cute.
The Peoria Plowboy.
That
And now
certainly
it got
wasn't,
down.
like, made by me. No self-proclaimed.
No.
Casey, where are you from?
I'm from Waterloo, Illinois.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you an ILL fan? Or do you like sports?
No.
Okay.
You don't like sports?
I mean, I like the Blues and the Cardinals, but that's about as far as
Okay,
it
there you
goes.
go. There you go. So you and the Plowboy have crossed paths a couple times here, is my understanding.
Well, I've been hearing some things.
You've been hearing
I've been hearing
things.
things from other people about us crossing paths.
So you're saying that the Plowboy may have been exaggerating said stories? What do we have going on?
Well, the story that I heard, I can totally believe, and I just don't remember it, so I want to hear your version.
Okay,
what do we have
so
here?
is it... Is it the bathroom story?
That's the one.
Okay, so this was when, remember the bathrooms are being worked on, the communal bathrooms, like, you know, the ones in the back area. The men's was out for a while, then I think the female was out for a period of time as well. And so I didn't know at the time that the female bathroom was being worked on, so you guys had no other option outside of the private stall here that we have right across from the kitchen.
Sure.
And so I was irresponsible not knowing that, and I certainly relieved myself.
No,
Doug.
gosh.
Doug.
I don't really know
Save that for
like how
home.
easier of a way I could say it, but I spent some time in the bathroom, and then I walked out, and it was one of those where it's right by the kitchen, it kind of in that hallway. It's basically the epicenter of
sure it
the
is.
station to where
Yeah.
kind of people walk and hang out. And,
Gosh, yeah.
So you want to try to get out at a good time and like crack the door and just
And get out
wipe
like no
your
one
hand
saw you.
clean
Hopefully
and
no one
like
sees
it wasn't
you.
on you.
Yeah.
So that was my intention. Certainly, I did not expect somebody right there. I don't think it was as close as what I originally like anticipated and said. Like she wasn't like face to face with me as I opened the door, but she was right there waiting because again, she had nowhere else to go.
No, she didn't.
And that was right after that. The next day, there was like aerosol spray and like hand sanitizer. So I kind of felt responsible for what I did.
When did you guys get to Hubbard? Because that was the same time that all our construction started.
It was
right?
January, and I think
Yeah, I think they did the
it was, like,
construction
February, March,
because
yeah.
of us. I think
Yeah.
that was a cause and
Right.
effect thing.
They tried to
I believe
cement
that.
over some of the odors that were coming out of there.
Now, is that when you said oopsie?
No,
Or was that
That's
no.
a separate
This
incident.
one, she
but
may
Casey,
not remember.
yeah, do you recall this incident?
So this I don't remember, but I totally.
Well, that's got to make you feel better.
I totally
A little bit, yeah.
believe it because I know I don't use the jock bathroom because it's always a bad idea, mostly because I'm one of 2 women in morning radio in this building.
You and Courtney.
I know the odds are just not good that I'm going to walk into something pleasant.
No, I understood, and I was telling the fellas, because I always like to say, like, we talked about this topic. Surprisingly, we've been on air for this long. We talked about this topic several times of bathroom etiquette, and I felt bad for the smell, but I felt worse for, like, my worst fear is, like, walking into a bathroom and having, like, a, like, very warm seat. Like, I can manage a smell, but, like, the warmth of the seat is
You always talk
unavoidable.
about this stuff this early, huh?
This is what we get to. We have essentially nothing else. This is why we're on HD2.
But I felt more so bad about that because, like, again, after the fact, I realized you were there, you know, not by choice, but you had to because the bathroom was under construction.
Well, don't feel too bad because I promise it's happened before from other people in this building.
Okay.
So.
Oh, are you calling out Randy Carricker?
You know, probably. It could have been him.
I love Randy. But yeah, I did feel bad.
So that's good. Now you have to feel better about the situation because this has been torturing the Plowhawk, Casey, for months.
I think I made it more of I made it awkward thinking like that this was like ruined her week, but I'm glad that I'm like just not even on her radar,
That's
which
wonderful.
is great because that means these things can kind of get swept under the rug.
Well, it
and
also
not become
doesn't
an
help
issue.
that bathroom is such a disaster. It's always the toilet's always effed up.
Yeah.
Nothing's ever working in there.
I walked into a little something there yesterday.
That's a problem. So you stay out of that one just in general.
I
It's
get
because of the
that.
situation. You and Courtney being the only females.
Yeah, like we know we're probably not going to walk into a nice clean bathroom.
No.
Oh, it's fairly
I
clean.
try to keep it clean, but like in terms of
Our standards may be different than.
we
Casey's
have
standards.
dealt with some we've
And
dealt with
then after that happened, my understanding, Casey, is you were here early. Plowboy was here early. You were working in the studio that Jackson usually resides in during our show, and the lights were off. And Plowhawk, what happened?
So you may not remember this because this was very like quick, but you were working in Jackson's booth and like the lights were off. This was probably a month and a half, 2 months ago. And so I walked in there to do some automation for our all-day program. And you were working there, and I couldn't see you.
Oh, did you walk in? This happens. That used to be like my studio. So
Okay.
I would still kind of go in there and get on the computer, and people just walk in because I would keep the lights
And
off.
I was looking at my phone like as I was walking in, and I like hit you at the top of my head as you were like doing work, and that was super awkward too.
This
Cause
I actually don't remember.
okay, good.
This is Plowhawk. Look
See,
at this.
this is fantastic.
These
When I
things
tell
we're
you that
concerned
these
about.
things happen so often that I mean, Mark Close has walked in multiple times, and like that studio's so small. I remember the door like slammed into me one time from Mark Close.
It's
so
very
this
tiny.
is so minimal.
Okay, because like it was early, and so like a guy that just randomly rams you with his head, like I just
And what did you say when
At
you
like
when
5
you hit
in the
Casey
morning.
at 5 in the morning?
I'm glad she doesn't remember this one because like this is. To me, Poopgate is still in the back of my head. It's like coming back. PTSD is starting to, kick in. I'm getting chills and cold sweats. And I go, oopsies, and then I just turn and, like, walk out.
And then you were like, that's really what I just said.
That's when I said, all right, time to put a nail in that coffin and just try to avoid everything. So.
And you don't remember any of that either.
I don't remember it, but if I had to guess, my thought at the time was like, oh, these new guys.
I know.
These HD2 MFers. That's what you were thinking.
Right.
That's the
Get on
worst.
a real station, clowns. That's what you thought.
First day here, we cooked up some shrimp in the employee
What
lounge
is
there.
with the fish?
Oh, this is what we
This one,
found
yeah.
out. Ken, this is directed in your.
Yeah, that's more
No, I don't warm it
do you
up.
get a
I bring
chance?
it in. Doug warms it up.
Do you get a chance to watch Iggy's Facebook Lives when he cooks? Because you could be one of 7 people.
No.
Okay,
But
so
I
he-
saw Iggy bring fish one day, and he said he brought it for his co-host.
Yes, he brings it every week.
Every week he
He's
brings
so
something
kind.
to
But it is kind, and it's great fish. He's a great cook. He's a sous chef. But the first day we were here, I cooked up some shrimp in the microwave oven, and I smelled nothing. I can't smell anything. I didn't think there was a problem eating shrimp. That's all anyone could talk. Apparently, I fouled the entire station.
It is. I think we were blaming Learn that day.
Learn got blamed.
she-
Iggy, now you got to feel even worse. Iggy and Learn. Iggy's a fan, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, I heard they were dating.
See the cutout.
Stalking is a better word.
See the cutout behind you.
Yeah, have you noticed there's a cutout of her right behind?
Oh, cute.
No, Learn did warm up fish one day, and Donnie Fandango went ballistic because she warmed up fish and Brussels sprouts.
Oh, nice. I like
And Fandango went nuts, but it seems like we always get blamed for it because of the first shrimp smell. Whenever there's fish smell back there, it's always the morning show did it.
Yeah.
And then you bring the fish in here?
No, I ate it in there.
Oh,
One
okay. I
time,
was
Iggy
gonna
brought
say,
a
this is
scallop.
a small room.
Yeah, Iggy warmed up one scallop, and I'm not kidding. It was like a mustard gas bomb just exploded.
And there was a lot of frustration from the staff in the building when that happened.
The first time is cute. The second time is a problem.
We were threatened to be put on HD3.
Yep, relegated is what it was. So that is an issue that you do remember with this show.
I do remember that because literally everybody was talking about it.
Nice.
Couldn't be sorrier.
Iggy,
Could
how
not
do
be
you-
any sorrier.
Iggy, how do you feel about
Well, what do you want me to do?
Well,
I mean, the scallop I think I did on purpose because I really wanted to just,
Heighten things.
hey, at least they're talking about you. And I don't think we need the notoriety anymore. I think people know who we are in this building.
That was the
They know.
plan to get
we're
notoriety.
we're very humble here.
Yes, we've made a mark here after almost a year. But I get it. I mean, anything you warm up in there, if you put popcorn in there, what if you burn it? Well, guess what? We're smelling popcorn for a week. Somebody puts a piece of bologna in there. Anything you put in there is going to smell.
Did people warm
Now,
up
fish lingers a
bologna?
little bit. I get that, but
I don't know. I never did.
no, I put mine in the broiler.
broiler?
What?
You broil bologna?
You never had fried bologna?
No.
Oh, come on.
Casey, have you ever had fried bologna?
I haven't. No.
Hey, Salt
bring some in
Smoke
for you.
has some killer fried bologna. It's like handmade. It's got like chunks of like cheese and jalapenos.
As you might imagine, we are getting hundreds of texts here, and you can text in 314-881-TMA5.
From the sacks.
Guys, unfortunately, it's hard to hear anyone over lizard skins breathing.
Oh,
That's from
come on,
Patrick at
Mother.
Immaculata. Iggy, are you breathing into the microphone?
No, it's just this mic is at Blue Chew. It's there, and I'm down here, so I don't know how you hear anything.
I'll pot you down a little bit.
This mic has got blue chew.
You followed Doug. Flocky the Smurf writes, this Casey Lass is being so kind, playing it all off like she doesn't remember when, in all honesty, she is so creeped out. That is from Flocky the Smurf.
I
Are you
can't-
just being kind here, Casey? Is
I
that what you-
truly don't remember. I kind of wish I do so that I could have a bigger reaction for you.
No, that's fine.
Well,
Like,
clearly the reaction of the fish is legitimate.
No, that's a big one.
Yeah, Doug, that's a problem.
I'm glad
there's
I'm not
enough-
memorable.
There's
That's
enough fish
huge.
for you if you'd like us to cook some up someday.
That again, so kind. Maybe not here though.
Well, actually,
Gentle
I don't think Doug brought it home yesterday. There's a whole tub of shrimp back there right now.
Oh, there's more. Good.
Nothing.
Did you take it home yesterday?
No,
Well, it's in there still.
I know. So
Well,
we'll cook it
want me to
today.
go bring a piece
on our
for you?
way out. We'll cook it and then we'll leave.
You want? I'll bring it in right now for Casey if you want.
No, the rudest. Don't cook it and leave.
Don't even eat it. Just leave it in there.
Can Iggy calm down? The breathing into the mic is out of control. That's from the Crestwood Coyote. Iggy, I mean,
You see,
you have headphones on. Do you hear breathing?
I'm not. I did do a look around to see who it was
Oh, no.
before anybody brought it up. Yeah.
Oh, no. And
Well, that's the first
who did
time.
you determine it was?
Well, I just assumed it was
Well, that's
Iggy
the
because
first time.
because of the way your microphone is very erect right now.
Well, Dan, I'm down here. This is the first time anybody in the studio has ever heard it, so you're the first. I think you're making it up to.
Don't get mad at our guest.
Are you going to berate
appease-
Casey? She was
appease
kind
her.
enough to come in here. She has her own morning drive show, and now all of a sudden...
I think she knows me well enough to know that I'm kidding her.
Oh, do you guys know each other well?
I mean, we hang out in the kitchen every morning.
Oh, is that right? Look at that. Iggy knows it's like he's running for office.
Iggy does know everybody, but I've noticed that like you never let someone pass you in the hall without saying something.
Oh, I always say hi.
Like I've definitely talked to you most out of anybody here.
I always say hi to everybody. And if I forget their name, it's always Buddy.
I'll
Have
remember
you called
that.
Casey Buddy?
No, I know Casey, but there's so many salespeople that I really forget some names. Hey, buddy.
I don't
morning.
know them either.
So,
Yeah, this show isn't used to salespeople, so like when you see more than one,
Who
it's
are
like,
these
whoa.
folks?
Yeah.
Some are dressed up.
What is this
What in the world?
advertising? Casey, thank you so much for coming in. It was super kind of you.
Thank you for
Thank
allowing
you
me.
very much.
Allowing you. Yes, absolutely.
I feel like
It's
that.
Casey from WIL. You can hear
Treat.
her.
What a treat.
and welcome back from Bermuda. Or,
Oh,
from,
yeah.
Bahamas.
Thank you
We missed
so
you.
much.
God,
How about that?
amazing,
Doug,
too.
they went
Sad
down
to be back.
Is that where you were in Bermuda?
Bahamas.
We were in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
We were in Nassau at Sandals.
And did you do your show from there? Look at that.
This is like the 7th time we've done it.
Doug,
Seventh time?
is this what happens when you get on HD1? They take you to the Bahamas?
I wouldn't be shocked if if you guys get to go soon.
Only two of us are going.
No.
Doug, me and you, one room.
Slipped out.
It's
Only
a
two
battle
get to
royale,
go.
baby.
We'll be going to Johnson Shut-ins.
We'll be holding down the fort back here.
Won't be the guys cooking shrimp and pooping in the community bathroom.
Count me out of that trip.
Pepper and Gina, you're out. Thank you, Casey.
Thanks, Casey.
Casey, you can hear her on WIL.
She killed it.
Morning Drive. And Plowhawk, you have to feel great about this because something that's been owning your soul for months turns out she doesn't even know about
You
it.
kind of off the hook.
Yeah.
It literally feels like a 10-pound weight because, any more than that would just destroy my body. It just came off of my back. Like, it just feels a lot better. I always felt the awkward tension. Like I said, I kind of created that on my own.
Yeah.
So I'm glad, like I said, not being memorable in these sorts of situations are very good.
You think maybe she's just being nice?
She
She didn't
could,
really
but
want to come out and say,
my read
that
was
was
no.
the worst smell I've ever smelled in my life. You dropped a bomb in there.
Because it does seem like the fish legitimately bothers her.
Yeah.
And I would have loved if the poop was like the worst smell she's ever smelled. It kind of would have been a badge of honor. And I would have loved the honesty and I think
Badge
the
of
content.
honor.
But no, she is super nice. Like, so I kind of feel like we relieve this tension, and now we can become friends. So that was huge, huge. Thanks her for having her in.
Now you almost wish you hadn't even brought it up because she didn't remember it.
It's just funny.
Now she'll remember it.
It's funny as hell in terms of like the two stories. Like they did happen, and it was so funny.
But it didn't scar her like it scarred you.
Yeah.
And now you have a clean conscience going into the weekend. You can focus on Brett Bielema and just enjoy the run to the college football playoff now.
I can't believe we're going to be in the Final Four.
Yep.
Very well could be.
And both basketball and football.
The Illinois defense against the Tennessee offense, Doug. How do you do?
I was in the kitchen Monday.
Changing the subject.
No.
Doug didn't get the
Well, if you
answer.
listen, it will tie into.
All right.
I think it was Monday, but I was in the kitchen getting coffee, and they had 101 on. I know it was Monday because the Riz show was off. And they had Brett Bielman on the morning
He was
show.
in here?
No, he was on the air on the morning show. They were talking to him.
On which show?
On Randy Characters.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think he's on regular.
Oh, regular guest?
Yeah.
Okay. I listened to a little bit. He sounds like a nice
Well,
guy.
Michelle's a huge Illinois fan, and she's been doing the show from New York this week while Randy Character is vacationing in the Hamptons.
That's why I haven't seen her. I thought she was in studio.
See, in the Hamptons or the Bahamas? Everyone seems to go to the Bahamas.
Yeah. And we're apparently going, and she
The two
knows
of
about it.
us.
Casey knows about it.
Two and two
I guess it's
only.
me and you, Doug, and it's one king-size bed, they said.
Oh,
That's like
California King?
No, I don't need that with the leg situation.
Oh.
That's like Character's 8th vacation this year.
Boy, the vacation police, even for other shows.
That bothers you a lot.
I take that one Montana one, and that does me in for the year. I feel like I'm comfortable
Well, I
with
could see
that.
how you wouldn't want to drive again more than once a year to a place like that.
I mean, I drove to Nashville last weekend. I mean,
But
I
that's
don't
just
mind
that's
driving.
nothing compared to Montana.
Well, not everything is nothing compared to Montana.
Guys, who is Brett Billman? Thanks, that's from the Loomster.
I'm pretty sure I said Bielman. Whatever. You hear what you want to hear.
Oh,
I did love that little clip that we put on the fan page.
What happened?
I think it was somebody
Chessboard.
Yeah, chessboard instead of chessboard.
Did you say chessboard?
And I think he said chest, I guess.
I said chess, and then Jackson put the Instagram together where he replayed me saying chess.
I didn't
chess.
make that.
Who did that?
Someone. It wasn't me. Some listener.
It was on our TMA STL thing.
No, it was on the fan page.
But they can take our YouTube stuff and do that?
Yeah, it's happened before.
No, I thought you did all that.
I do a lot of that, but that was not me.
Oh, well.
I wouldn't put you out like that.
Well, I wouldn't care. 'cause
But
it
you
was
did
funny.
say chest. I mean,
It was funny. Yeah, well, when I heard the replay, yeah, but again, you can do a lot of things with the audio.
Doug, it's like audio Photoshop.
yeah.
Yeah, you can edit whatever you want. I mean,
Wish
I
I
could have said
could.
chess, and they just drag it over there, and then it sounds.
That's
like
what it was. So
Did I say
it was.
chest?
You did not say chest. Somebody inserted the T.
I think so. Because if you
Wow.
hear the T go, you hear me
Imagine
say
recording
chess.
that on your own
You hear me
time.
go chess. It's kind of a.
What are you up to today? Well, I'm not working. I'm inserting a T into this clip from an HD2
talk
show.
during this.
You think there's not
YouTube
listeners
clip.
that have nothing better to do than that?
Brian Henshin, speaking of which, is a columnist. He's covering the Colts, and what a situation they have, Doug, there with no Matt Ryan and perhaps no Jonathan Taylor in Jackson's despondent because he is a Jonathan Taylor owner, as am I.
Oh.
As am I. And Jackson, your recommendation is to pick up who if you're a Jonathan Taylor owner?
Deion Jackson.
Deion Jackson and the Southside Seamen have. So Brian Henson would probably recommend that too. And he also says, as a Colts columnist, LOL, Ken is so jealous. A special surprise from Tim for the Plowhawk. Plowhawk being the center of attention from a girl, and the girl calling out Ken for breathing into the mic. I'm expecting a hijacking like we've never, ever seen before, boys. Also, Boots, who coaches Illinois' football team. Thanks. That's from Brian Henson.
Red Mealman. Damian.
There you go, Doug.
What I thought of your text.
Morning, Tim. Wifey just left for Malibu for the weekend. Any Beach Boys that want to take the old battle axe for a ride? She's getting her hole bleached for the PCH. That's from the recovering alcoholic from Belleville and Webster Groves. Doug, any of our listeners in Malibu, sounds like there's an offer on the table.
And she's getting it bleached for a highway?
I guess she's going to cruise up and down the Pacific Coast Highway
with a bleached hole?
Yeah.
That's how you hitchhike now? You
probably.
shine
You
it
have
up
to
and blind a driver?
A sign that says bleached hole.
Oh.
And when you bleach it, is everything just white when you bleach it? Is that what happens?
Oh.
You know, I honestly don't know how many bleached holes I've encountered. It's not something that somebody says, hey, while you're back there, notice I've bleached my hole.
That's why
I don't think anyway.
That's why
Again,
I
at this point, I'm pretty much out to pasture. How about the cringe moment when Casey was in studio when she mentioned the creeper can't pass anyone in the hallway without creeping on them? That's from Patrick and Immaculata.
It's not even the term she used.
Yeah, I don't think I heard the word creep at all.
Don't get frustrated.
I can't
Don't
help
hang your head.
I can't
Put your
help
hand
myself.
over
It's
your
the same
face.
Where are the lighters?
Crap, I almost dropped the S-bomb. The same crap every day. It's just one
Well,
trick
don't let them
ponies.
get to you.
They don't get to me. It's just getting annoying.
Well,
You want a
then
piece of
they've
this
gotten
Patrick
to
and
you.
Immaculata?
I don't know who he is.
Tough guy.
If you people would ever, any of you would use your real name.
So you don't think that's his real name?
I don't think his last name's Immaculata. They named a church after him. Such great people here on Clayton. We're going to name the church after his mom and dad, Immaculata.
Guys, I got my hole bleached for Tess on Ferry Friday Night Cruising. Thanks. That's from former fan page moderator Neil Allen Craig Paquette. Manchild79 says, hey, I'm going to be out in Cali tonight. Past the recovering alcoholics queen my math. That's from Manchild79. Sounds like he's going to go doing some bleach digging, Doug.
Apparently, this cruising has become a thing again.
Nice.
Well, this guy's huge.
They go up and down.
And he did anal.
They go up and down Lindbergh, where they always have in that Melville area. But now I guess they cruise in Kirkwood at night, down Kirkwood Road and on to Argonne in front of Billy Cheese and everything. Yeah.
What kind of cars they have? El Caminos?
I don't know what kind of cars. Sometimes they drive real fast, and that's just kind of where the kids are hanging out now.
We just cruise back roads. That's what we call cruising. But again, it's a totally different style of town.
What's the fun of cruising back roads if there's nothing there?
You roll up a couple fat blunts and you go out in the middle of nowhere and smoke weed.
Well, don't say that like, of course, I should know
Well,
that.
I guess
that is the answer.
It's very simple.
They carry that Mr. Microphone with them and, hey, good looking, be back to pick you up in a little while.
Something like that. That's what I think of cruising, not just going out in the woods and smoking.
Well, we're not in the middle of the woods. We're on, like, back dirt roads on the outskirts of town. It's not like we, just entered, like, the forbidden forest or anything.
No, but I thought cruising means, like, you're going to see lots of other people passing by.
Gotcha,
Yell out your car. And
that makes sense.
I think of
stop
that
the malt
senator.
shop.
I think of that senator who went cruising in that airport bathroom, tapping his toe.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
I think of the movie American Graffiti. You ever see that?
Yeah, it's a great. That's
that was
George Lucas.
I can't believe you said malt shop, though. And I love it. And I do love a good malt.
What about the film Cruising with Al Pacino?
Doug, you ever seen that picture?
No, I didn't see
He's
it.
wearing a lot of leather in that one.
That was a gay thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I guess you'd have gay cruising. But I think what we're talking about when in Doug's era and my era was just, you just meet, hey, let's meet 7 o'clock, and you just get all in your cars and you just go up and down the road and you're trying to pick up girls. And
Was that like in Remember the Titans when they had that big win and Gary Bertier was driving his Camaro? Like that kind of cruising where everybody's
that's
out,
cruising.
hey, pointing out of the.
That's
okay.
Dazed and Confused, they did a lot of cruising.
Oh, did they ever? They did more my style cruising, honestly.
Yeah.
It always seemed to stop at a mold shop, though.
Malt shop, or a 5 and dime.
Woolworths.
I do miss like that. Everybody would hang out. It looked like I wasn't there in the 50s and 60s, but everybody would hang out at like one of those little malt shops or those, diners and get a burger
Ice cream
and fries.
parlors.
Yeah.
It was a simpler time.
Yeah, we'd hang out at Velvet Freeze.
See, that's so simple. Like, great.
Yeah.
What the F is a Mr. Microphone, you fossil? That's from 2019 fan page club champion Ant Peg. Or is it 2020?
2020. Why don't you Google it?
I even know what a Mr. Mike is.
Yeah.
Microphone
Why don't you
is. Those
Google
are
the
popular.
commercial? Can we find the commercial?
They were kind
Can
of
we
big.
find
Well, I can't, but
Yeah, I can find it.
okay.
I'm not sure it'll work nowadays. If you go up and down the street and start yelling, "Hey, good looking," with a microphone and a
You'd be shot.
speaker.
You would definitely be shot.
This Christmas party is getting a little too quiet. I think it's time we liven it up with my favorite Christmas gift, Mr. Microphone.
Hey, what's that?
Well, you set the dial on your FM radio and testing.
These kids are having a fabulous time with Mr. Microphone, the cordless microphone that actually puts your voice on the radio. There are no attaching wires, so you're free to move around. Broadcast over any FM car radio.
Hey, good looking. We'll be back to pick you up later.
Doug, I would describe that as hashtag problematic.
Yeah.
I hope whoever said that is no longer allowed to live.
And it was 5 cars. It was 5 just dudes shirtless.
They would
Just looked
immediately
like a
call the
scene.
police. Someone just called me good looking and they're coming to pick me up.
Yeah, that sounds like the opening scene for a Bang Bus.
Yeah. I said you couldn't play that nowadays, but
FM car radio.
Hey, good looking. We'll be back to pick you up later.
Cut that off. Cut that off. You can get that set up for you with Tommy Sabulka at VIP Auto Accessories. I know that they're working on Mr. Microphone installs. VIP is all local since 1979. They're part of the TMA ecosystem. Munganast works with them. Design Air Heating and Cooling works with them. Tommy Sabulka, and he wants you to call him directly. Don't worry about messing around. You just go right to the guy in charge. 314-428-3900. Or email him at tommy.cibulka at VIP Auto Accessories. VIP Auto Accessories is your one-stop full-service shop for all your auto accessory needs. They do van and truck upfitting for commercial fleet vehicles, provide graphic solutions for vehicles, retail office space, floors, windows, and more, and have a full array of public safety solutions, including for EMS and police fleets. VIP is now a full-service operation, providing top-quality service and the ability to get it done now. VIP's one-stop shop will save you time and hassle. Go to VIPAutoAccessories.com or call Tommy Sabulka at 314-428-3900 or email him at TommySabulka at VIPAutoAccessories.com. That's Tommy Sabulka and VIP Auto Accessories, Doug. And then there is Ryan Kelly and the HomeLoanExpert.com, title sponsor of this program. How do you do?
You know what he's got now? He's got a $0 down loan. You've heard me talk about Ryan Kelly, the home loan expert. He has a loan program now called the $0 down loan, where you can buy a home with $0 down. Seriously. Ryan Kelly, the home loan expert, has that $0 down home loan that is changing the game and is making home ownership more accessible than ever before. The $0 down program that Ryan has no income limits. It's not just for first-time home buyers, and if you have less than perfect credit, that's not a problem either. And with the Home Loan Expert's 10-day closing guarantee, your loan will be closed in 10 days or you'll get $1,000. Ryan Kelly, the Home Loan Expert, has a 10-day closing guarantee, so not only will you not have to put any money down, you'll be in your new home faster than ever. How great is that? If you need more information about the $0 down loan, visit thehomeloanexpert.com. It might be just right for you. The Home Loan Expert team will work closely with you to understand your unique financial situation to get the loan that is right for you. That's Ryan Kelly, your and my home loan expert.
There it is. Title sponsor of this program, Ryan Kelly. Get involved on the show. 314-881-TMA5. Save it in your phone, and then see if you can someday wind up in the TMA Hall of Fame like Carlos Spicy-Leaner will. Doug, that's going to be a magical moment when he goes in. 314-881-TMA5. That's the Engineer Design Facilities. Text inbox, email in, and maybe you can compete with Kevin Miller, who won in the month of September and the month of October. Right now, getting shut out is Ellen Foley and Danny Tanner have the wins in the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. Coming up in our Appliance Discounters 8 o'clock hour, we will have the drops of the week, and we will have the cuts of the week presented by Bertarelli Cutlery in the 9 o'clock hour, along with Lisa Ann making her return from Switzerland. I wonder if she's still a woman in love. I mean, she is intensely a woman in love.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully, because she had a certain glow about her last time we spoke.
She'll be with us at 9 o'clock. Your two-part fantasy football questions. That will be at 9 o'clock. And, of course, the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today at 9:45. Send yours in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. This closes out the Munganess 7 o'clock hour. Appliance discounters 8 o'clock hour next from the Michelob Ultra Studios. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Check out listener rewards on the new TMA mobile app. Watch the show live on the TMA studio cams. Find it at TMASTL.com. Get the podcast on the TMA app. Download it now.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
Hey, if you like the Morning After, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's Sports Talk with Tim McKernan and Action Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday, right after the Morning After. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good, so check it out on 101 ESPN or get the podcast on the TMA app. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and right now, this is a unique time, and I'm here with Ryan Kelly. And Ryan, what can you tell our listeners about this moment in American history?
Well, it's the perfect time to buy a house.
Yeah.
When you think about that, knowing that you can get a house significantly less today than a year ago, I mean, that's a win-win, right? And mortgage rates are definitely a little higher than they were a year ago. But at thehomeloanexpert.com, we have a saying, you marry the house, you date the rate. Got questions? Ready to get pre-approved? Let's talk. It all starts today at thehomeloanexpert.com.
This is Tim McKernan. I'd like to tell you about a company I started just a couple of years ago, and I still own. And it's called Sound Story. It's essentially a 1-hour interview that we do either in person or via Zoom with mothers, fathers, grandmothers, grandfathers. They come in and they tell their stories, education, growing up, and of course, family stories, the wisdom that they can share with their loved ones for generations to come. It's an audio heirloom. It's Sound Story. To learn more, go to mysoundstory.com.
With the fall's cooler weather upon us, we hope you'll let Lime Concrete Block help you with all of your landscaping projects. They've been a locally owned and operated manufacturer since 1947, priding themselves on their quality of their products and the customer service they provide. Lime Block offers a complete line of fireplaces, outdoor living kits, decorative retaining wall blocks, ready-mix concrete, masonry block, as well as concrete parking curbs and air conditioning slabs. Please visit their showroom off South Broadway at 326 East Courtois or visit them online at limeblock.com.
Okay. Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepperoncini. Pepperoncini.
And now the Pepperoncini Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Stroh. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open. Pepperoncini. 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 Pepperoncini.
We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at TMASTL.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever.
Celebrate all your college and fantasy teams' totally touchdowns this weekend with Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. May your team be swift and their aim be true. May the refs be forever in your favor and your whiskey always Tullamore Dew. Tullamore Dew, the original triple blended, triple distilled, smooth sipping Irish whiskey, made exactly for game day moments like this. When it's game time, it's totally time. Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume. Imported by William Grant & Sons Incorporated, New York, New York. Please enjoy Tullamore Dew responsibly. The best authentic Southwestern cuisine awaits you at Santa Fe Bistro in Creve Coeur. Open for lunch and dinner with happy hour Monday through Friday, 3:30 to 6, and Saturdays, 2:30 to 4. Daily drink and entree specials and 72 tequilas, as well as a vast selection of beer on draft and by the bottle. Wear a jersey or team gear for Blues and NFL games and get a free drink with the purchase of an entree. Nothing says authentic Southwestern cuisine quite like Santa Fe Bistro, west of 270 on Olive. Same plaza as the old TGI Fridays location. Full menu at SantaFeBistroMO.com.
The Tim McKernan Show podcast, featuring long-form interviews with people from the world of sports, politics, and entertainment.
And our guest today, Bill McClellan. Thanks so much for coming in.
Hey, my pleasure, Tim.
What's up, Caden?
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
Joe Buck, our guest today.
Man, it's like I haven't seen you in years.
More than 500 episodes and counting, and it's available wherever you get your podcasts, including the TMA STL app. Get the app now at TMASTL.com.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Get the TMA mobile app and enable notifications so you don't miss a thing. See our content on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Stream us on the TMA mobile app and at TMASTL.com.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
I'm gay. Now.
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPNT FM HD2.
Collinsville, St. Louis.
Oh.
Doug, it's just perfect. It's a perfect way to go into a weekend that we expect to be filled with hot action.
Well, what sort of action are you talking about, other than just hot?
Missouri and Kentucky.
Yeah.
ILL, Sparty, Game 6 of the World Series.
I watched the World Series last night. You guys watch that?
I was
Good
at the Blues game. Got home to watch the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning.
Phillies had a couple chances to win it, but the Astros made some great defensive plays.
So McCormick who made the play on Real Muto? Is that right?
Out in center field up against the wall, and then Trey Mancini made a really good play at first base to take a double and probably would have driven home 2 runs and put the Phillies ahead there in the 8th.
Jackson, you getting ready to Venmo that 20?
There's still games to be played, but yeah, I would anticipate I'll be losing money on that bet.
Phillies are in real trouble now. It looks like Bryce Harper's going to hit a home run every time he comes up. He is really locked in.
And he was so cold going into the Cardinals series.
He is really dialed in. But he's the only one that's hit much for the Phillies over the last 2 games anyway.
Astros got good pitching.
They got good pitching. We got good pitching. They got good defense. We got good defense. They got a good amount of here. We got a good amount of here. They got a good ball club. We got a good ball club.
Tony Perez.
Mm-hmm.
Tim, I love the way you're gazing at the Plowhawk on the fan page. Doug, how am I gazing at the Plowhawk on the fan page?
I don't know, but I think everyone loves
yes,
it.
the page.
Let's see what we got going on.
I guess I'll look. By the way, people, I'm looking at the fan page right
So
now.
you have to, when you look at your phone, you have to announce that you're looking at your phone?
I feel like we should now.
Doug, as you know, I have a lab top in front of me. I see Rob Manfred's on the fan page.
Is he really?
I don't know what's going on.
Pension posted a picture of you looking at Blasey.
Show him Budsman?
Yeah. Colts columnist.
That's right. Oh, yeah, it looks like I want you. And I do.
Oh, nice.
I hope that, is that an HR problem if I want to?
Nah.
Well, if you let him know that you're interested, I think it would be. Yeah.
So should I say I'm not interested, but then maybe wink away from the camera?
Mm-hmm.
I love how
I'm not interested.
That'd be better.
Lauren Cutout is like perfectly right behind Cat. Like,
yeah, I think that was the moment where Casey's like, I had to get out of here.
yeah, I think he looked at that and kind of got scared. It's like a nightmare scenario. But no, she was great.
And you have to feel better now knowing that which has kept you up at night, you've woken Madison up in a cold sweat, and she's, what's wrong? What's wrong?
Yeah, Madison wouldn't care.
She wouldn't. No.
I don't think she'd lose sleep over me losing sleep over the fact that I wrecked the bathroom at work.
Well, it's like you got a fresh slate now.
Yeah, I feel like a first day on the job now.
Yeah.
Back to square one.
We'll start cooking up the shrimp again and divert their attention there.
At least that one time where I had to leave this. Do you remember I had to end the show early, and at least I didn't.
Oh yeah, that's the first time that's happened and only time in this show's history.
Yeah, and it was on YouTube, so we can always relive that memory. But I'm glad I didn't use the private one for that because it took an hour.
Doug, you think the Plowhawk has a problem? That session was an hour?
It should never take an hour.
I told you on air. I I listened to the entire because they were blaring Balloon Party in the bathroom.
Well,
actually,
as many restrooms are around
Actually,
town.
right when I walked in, I cranked up the volume like 3 or 4.
Just so no one would hear what was going
louder
on.
Jackson
than-
get his ass lit up?
I think that was either when he messed up one of the updates.
Oh, you actually heard one of those?
Yeah, but I listened to the entire show because I flushed and washed my hand 3 times, but I couldn't get out of
It
the
was
bathroom.
a 3-flusher for this man.
No, I'm talking 3 separate times. I thought I was done.
You must have lost
And I
15
put
pounds.
my hand on the handle, and it's like, nope.
Back to it. What'd you
Back
have to
to
eat?
work.
What caused all
The
this?
Marie Colander
Oh, yeah, that'll get you every time, huh?
chicken Alfredo. No, the chicken Alfredo dish, and it was buried in my freezer, so that thing could have been there for years.
Doug, good news. You wanted to hear from Fred from the Poor Part of the Nail on this press conference Friday. Steve Schmidt, Kia, North County phone line 636-9004 TMA. Fred, good morning.
Oh, yeah.
Fred!
Yeah, my bad.
Fred? Fred! There he is.
What up, Fred? My bad. That was on me.
It's all good, Palsy. How's it going, guys? I haven't heard from you guys in a while. You don't call, you don't write?
Well, we've been here every day. We're every day, Monday through Friday.
Oh, well, heaven's sakes. Doug, when are you going back on Channel 4? I've seen in the newspaper that you're making a full-time return.
Yeah, I'm there full-time now. I'm working 70 to 80 hours a week.
Wow,
I'm anchoring virtually all of the shows
That
there
is
right
awesome. It's such good exposure.
I can't. Wow, that's great, man. Good for you. Well, hey, boys, I just wanted to let you know that I'm up here at the gym working out right now with Bubbles, and we're doing topless man lunges.
Oh, topless man lunges.
Nice.
Send a pic, bro.
Can't be at Planet
Oh,
Fitness.
yeah. And
so dirty.
What gym are you at?
Lifetime Fitness Frontenac.
Yes, sir.
That's where it is, Doug.
And that's where we're at.
That's where it goes down.
Topless man
But
lunges.
Bubbles and his bi-curious wife are going on a week-long vacation to the Punta Cana tomorrow.
Wow.
Is this a sapphic trip?
I think so. I've been hearing some rumblings that they're looking to, swing.
Nice.
Wow.
You're not going yourself?
Yeah. Why don't you engage in the more popular MMF?
Well, those bastards didn't invite me to go with them.
Yeah. Well.
So.
Sorry.
Anyways, I just wanted to call in. I haven't talked to you guys in a while. I just want to say hi to you guys. What's up, man-child, beer cats? And I will let you guys go, and I will call back, I don't know, sometime soon.
Okay, it's been a real pleasure hearing from you.
Doug, that's Fred from the Poor Part of the
I
Nail.
love Fred.
He's doing topless lunges with Bubbles, who's about to go on a swinging trip with Bubbles' girlfriend, maybe now Bubbles' wife. I don't know what the status is.
Topless man lunges.
I'm drinking beers in Nashville with Fred from the Poor Part of the Nail.
Was Bubbles there?
No.
Fred's a good dude.
Yeah, Fred's great.
Why isn't Bubbles' wife or girlfriend on to talk about finding soft skin?
I guess Fred's like the mediator.
Yeah, he's their agent. Iggy, is there a resort were they in Punta Cana?
Mexico has Desire, which is a very swinger-friendly resort.
You been there?
I've never been to Desire, no. I'm not a big Mexico guy. Been there once, really don't
Punta
like it.
Cana was DR. Doug, am I wrong on that?
I was just going to ask where it is.
There's a lot of Cantas.
Punta Cana is DR.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, I think there's a Punta Cana in Mexico, too.
Best sex resorts, #1, hedonism.
Is that right?
I mean, it's right here.
Iggy, congratulations.
Desire will be up there, too.
Luxury lifestyle.
Is there a difference between the two?
Stay and play in Cali. Wow. Hello.
In Cali?
Yeah, California. You got there's one in Bali. Desire. There it is. #5.
And where's
Number
that?
5.
It is in Riviera Maya in Cancun, Mexico. Temptations in Cancun.
Is there a Punta Cana in Mexico?
No.
I think
Punta
it is.
Cana. There's no T in there. Punta Cana.
Ooh, Kissimmee, Florida. That's Cypress Cove.
Did you say Kissimmee or did you say Kissimmee?
It's Kissimmee.
Kissimmee. I think I've been there. That's the nudist place.
It's right by Orlando.
There's one in Pennsylvania.
I know a lot about Pennsylvania, and it's
Great.
Yeah,
Joe Paterno.
People throwing themselves off balconies.
Yeah, she literally threw herself off the balcony.
Is there a what's the name of the? Can you check the nudist resort? It's not a resort. It's a nudist. God, I don't know. It's colony. Yeah, kind of like a nudist camp in Kissimmee. I went there one day. Spent the day there.
Guys, did I just hear on your show someone say there's a Punta Cana in Mexico? Facepalm. That's from the 314.
Cypress Cove is the one. At least that's
The
what
Lone
popped up.
Cypress, Pebble Beach. Ah, yes.
It's like $20 for the day, just to hang out naked.
You pay to do that.
Yeah.
And it's not a bunch of beautiful women there. It's just middle-aged dudes with pot bellies.
Well, they all live there. It's like a community. All their mobile homes are pulled in there. And
But what's the excitement there?
I just like laying out naked. And
Well, can't you do that in your backyard? Well, you don't have a backyard.
Well, first of all, I wasn't in St. Louis. Thus, I said Kissimmee. I was at spring training, and I had the day off. Cardinals were out of town. I said, find a nudist resort. And there was one in Kissimmee, so I drove up there.
Couldn't you just go to the pool at the hotel and have just a bathing suit on, and it'd be almost the same thing without the drive and the $20 and having to look at elderly, chubby people?
No, it's not the same thing. You don't lay out naked. You don't know what the difference is. You're
Clearly
freer.
not.
You're freer. You don't have the swimsuits sticking to your nuts
How
when you get out
how
of the
big of
pool.
a problem is that, really?
Well, it's not a big problem, but it's more freeing when you don't have anything to worry about.
I cut that netting out of swim trunks. The first thing I do when I buy swim trunks.
You do?
I take scissors and cut the hell out of that netting.
Like, I've been to Hedo, I've been to Hullover Beach, I've been to Black's Beach, where they're just beaches. They're not resorts.
Just topless as the day is long, Aaron.
Free?
Yeah.
Do you feel free there as well?
Yeah, but this place was a community. People lived there. And it's just amazing to me that you're laying at the pool and you look across the yard and there's a guy cutting his grass naked.
But why is that an excitement or something you want to see?
Yeah, what is that about, I wonder?
It's not
Is it a kink or is it just a comfort?
Oh, no, it's not. It's a lifestyle that you just like to be naked, and you live a place where you don't have to wear clothes.
Like, there it is.
Ain't no way I'm mowing, push mowing
Naked.
or riding mowing naked.
Think of the chiggers.
I was thinking about just something like that you run over like a rock and it like separates and it just shoots everywhere.
The shorts will really help that out.
Well, at least you have that layer.
Socks and shoes would help. Are they wearing shoes at least?
No, naked.
They're not cutting the grass.
What's the
with
escort
shoes
scene
on?
like in Starkville?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't use that service, so I have no idea.
Okay. Starkville's out.
They don't have any nudist resorts.
I'm all in. It's just some people just like to be naked.
Right.
So
Put that off.
You see somebody get out of their car with a suit and tie on. They just came up from work, and then 2 minutes later, they're back out on their front porch naked.
Yeah, I guess they just don't get it, and probably never will.
What do you mean, don't get it?
I don't get what the
You don't
joy
get it.
is.
What do you mean they don't get it?
I said I don't get it.
No, you said they don't get it.
No, well, I meant to say I don't get it.
Well, some people don't get Mr. Licks, but it's too bad because, Doug, he's on the Steve Schmidt Kia North County phone lines. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mr. Licks, not Mr. Fix. Iggy is
Happy
already
Friday,
reclining in his
everyone.
chair. What's going on, Mr. Licks?
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you and yours.
Hey, Iggy.
A little energy from you would be nice, Licks.
Hey, there's a question for the day. Is there any way to prove that someone intentionally mispronounces words? Is there any way to prove that?
Probably not.
Doug,
no,
is there any way?
I wouldn't think there would be. No.
I'm not asking about anyone in particular, but there's this guy I know that you'll see his brain kind of working before he says a word, and then he says the word like backwards in order to like garner attention and laughs, and it's not funny at all. And I kind of want to let him know that it's not funny.
Who is this guy you're talking about?
I mean, kind of like your calls. I mean, you really are just a pain in the ass, and you bring this up and you act like we don't know who you're talking about, and yeah, I really do it for the attention. That's what I'm looking for is attention. Who's looking for attention is you when you call and make these dumbass calls once a week.
Really let him have it.
All right, go on with the rest of your crap.
Oh.
Well, thanks for blessing us with 20 minutes of Jerry Falwell talk on Wednesday. That's just what
Well,
we
quit
wanted.
listening to the show. Seriously, just get rid of it. Don't listen. You bitch about it every day, but then you call in and bitch about what we talked about.
I thought I'd put you guys on.
Freeze like a car.
Doug, that sounded like the drop.
That's pretty damn good.
I've been working on it.
Man, that was good. You need to get back on TV. When's that going to happen?
I'm there full time now, working about 80 hours a week.
Okay. So I thought this was funny. I was on the grounds of a certain country club last night, and they were talking about whether to. There's someone applying, a couple that's applying to be a member, and they were kind of breaking them down, and they were talking about the wife, and they said, I don't know if she still has too much St. Charles in her.
That was the determining factor on whether they got into the country club or not?
You go to Ancestry.com to find out?
It wasn't the determining factor, but I thought it was hilarious. And it was true, too, so I don't blame them.
So they are not going to have their application accepted because the wife has too much St. Charles in her?
I don't. They don't let me in on that, on the verdict. I don't know. I'm not a member, you know.
Yeah,
so.
that was a made-up story. So.
Iggy says that story's made up, Mr. Licks.
He's got material.
I don't care what you think.
He's got material every day, and he thinks it's funny, and it's not. He's always got to throw a country club in there somewhere.
Iggy, we need to go get a coffee or something.
No, we don't. We don't need to do
You need
anything.
to hash out your differences.
Well, I thought it was weird that you were complaining about there not being nudity in that Falwell documentary.
I didn't want to complain. I wasn't complaining about
A
it.
Christian guy and a pool boy, and you wanted to see them naked. Like, dude, just...
Well, I wasn't complaining about it, dude. I said there was he was showing a video that she sent him, and they blocked out her boobs. Why?
I don't know. I didn't make it.
Yeah, well, that was the question I asked.
To who?
I wasn't complaining about it. Oh, God almighty, you're just so
Oh,
stupid.
you've had it with this fella. You've actually had it.
You got back into... I think there's a solution for Pepper and G, because the other day you got back into talking about the expiration dates of food. Iggy was just walking people through what was in his freezer. Like, I thought it was really weird.
Yeah, you listen to it. That's really amazing to me.
We appreciate the download.
Hey, don't get me started on that. Plowsy, if you could get... You got your guy on today, right?
Oh, yes. Matty Dread's on today?
He said he'll text me when he wakes up. So we'll see if he wakes up before. He is in Vegas time, so it's still early for him to... I didn't assume the text would be sent now. But he said if he wakes up on time, he's down.
They're an hour or 2 hours behind us.
I think 2, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah.
Could you do it this afternoon?
I mean, it all depends on... I mean, I'm here till 12 or 12:30 anyways.
It just depends on that.
He said this is his busy time of the year, but I think he was joking because I don't think he cares about anything. But yeah, if he wakes up and texts me, we'll get him on and see what he has to say.
The listeners really want to know how he made it from a small town in Illinois to big time in Malibu or wherever he lives.
Yeah,
Could we get his story?
Yeah, I actually don't know a lot of it either because he did move down there for the ABC affiliate after he graduated from Carbondale. So he did start at that ABC station.
Oh, is that right? I didn't realize that part.
Yeah, and then through his connections there, working the early mornings, he realized waking up at 3 a.m. to do news.
So, ladies and gentlemen, Ken Strode is exiting the
No, what I'm doing is the coffee machine's not working again. So I couldn't get coffee, but I think Jody may be here now. So if she
But we're in the middle of a segment.
Well, I don't really care about this guy. I really don't.
Hey, Iggy.
He can't hear you. He is leaving.
I was going to say, did anyone else's hair stand up on the back of their neck when Casey was like, Iggy won't let anyone pass him in the hallway? Without talking to them, I thought, oh, those poor coworkers. I thought that was really funny. But you know what's a weird flex? Saying you're a member at Lifetime Fitness in Frontenac.
Doug, you seem like you bring that up a lot.
I actually like this Mr. Lick's take.
That's
I didn't know people bragged about being a member at Lifetime Fitness. Is that right? That actually goes on, Mr. Licks?
It's ridiculous because it's not even that nice of a Lifetime in comparison to other ones. And
I thought it was
You
like
know
the
who's
best in
worst
town.
at it?
What
Yeah, but we're in St. Louis, Doug. This place sucks.
Okay. But for St. Louis,
So
it's the best place going in St. Louis, isn't it? The best club in
Yes.
St. Louis?
Yes. It's saying it's the best turd in the toilet.
Okay, that's enough.
All right, this is my last thing though. So Raby spent like 20 minutes of a 30-minute Pepper and Genie like flexing his lifetime membership to Plowsy, and Plowsy
Raby was a guest on Pepper and Genie?
This is a while ago, right? It's a month or so ago, I think. Tim, this is when you were furloughed.
I was furloughed.
I forgot this one was. I don't remember the content of it. I don't know how long it was, but I do remember him mentioning Lifetime Fitness and Frontenac.
Yeah, what's up, Raby? I would just like to say, anytime you have a guest on, I love Pepper and Genie. The guests make Pepper and Genie great. So I hope you guys get more of these random people you know that are in the porn industry.
Yeah.
Because they're hilarious.
Yeah, once Matty Dreg gets on,
I
people
can't wait to
will
hear this interview.
Go crazy. This dude is a very unique, one-of-a-kind personality. Just basically a tornado of content.
Is that right?
Yeah,
Man, maybe you should be a regular.
And you went to high
Regular.
school with him?
Oh, yeah.
Same class, whole deal?
Same class, whole deal.
With
That's
Reefer
gonna-
and Mace Dog?
Reefer was a class under us. Me, Mace Dog, Rick and Aw. You know
Rick and
what
Aw,
we
huh?
do, yeah. But yeah, Dever was in our.
Dever was in it,
He was
too.
our clan. He was in our clan. Yeah. Matty Dread's killing it.
Nice.
Okay, hey, this is my last thing before I go. Look, Plowsy, I'll ask you since Iggy's out. So
He's still going.
it'll be minute 17 of the podcast, and he'll be on his sixth story in the middle of it, and the outro music will start.
Yes.
Now, let me in on some inside baseball here. Are you trying to get him to stop talking by playing the outro music?
I think I'm ready to end it. I think that.
Right. Okay.
I think in radio you can kind of feel when something comes to an end in terms of a segment or a podcast episode, and I think I have the years of experience to know. All right, we're just gonna let Iggy know that we're just gonna pot this Michael Frank up slowly. So that dog and TV, that 30 seconds to wrap.
Right.
Like
hurry up.
Let's put a bow on this beast.
Yeah, gotta get out.
Nothing against Iggy. I do it to myself sometimes too. But yeah, it's. I would say the inside knowledge is you kind of know when the episode's done.
He would go on for hours if you didn't do that.
This might be true, but I just, he's not in control of how long we're going or, what the topic that we started with, because we start with a topic and end with a completely different one for the most part. So I just try to avoid some of the ramblings, but I mean, again, I do it to myself all the time as well.
All right, well, thanks, guys. I'm out of steam again.
Okay.
Happy Friday.
All right.
Happy Friday.
I'm down.
Mr. Wick.
Okay. Bottom down.
Doug, I mean, I've never seen a caller have about a 50-50 split of absolute intense love or intense hatred. I would tell you, and I could be off on this, that he is the most hated caller since Timberfake.
Oh, really?
Which is really saying something. But the difference on his calls is he has people who absolutely love him. I would say it's probably 65.3% hate.
That was Licks was still on when you just hung up on him?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God for Jody. She's the only one who knows how to fix that machine.
I think most of the Licks fans are the Iggy critics. If I had to get, if I had
there's
to
probably a
look
nice
at,
play on that Venn diagram, Plowhawk. You've done some good Gallup polling.
We did get some very good information behind the scenes type stuff about how the country club process works. Can you imagine being some orthopedic surgeon at Barnes applying for a country club at Old Warson, and you have to go home and tell your wife, I've got some bad news for you. We didn't get in because you got too much St. Charles.
You really believe that story?
Do I believe that goes on in general? 100%.
Yes, but not.
Do I know if that story was true? I do not.
We were gonna
that
get
doesn't
in.
mean it isn't true.
We were going to get in, but you went to St. Charles West High School. We're out.
We should let Doug go. He's got a fit. He's got a fit coming on here.
Too much St. Charles.
making well over 6 to 7 figures.
Can you zoom in on Doug?
He makes $2.5 million a year, but she grew up in St. Charles, so you're out.
so.
You can still smell the Missouri River on her.
Licks has got the biggest boner because they're laughing at his
Oh,
story.
yeah, we will never hear the end of that call.
She's going to be heartbroken when she gets the news. She can't do a darn thing about it.
He's looking right into YouTube now. Looking, Doug likes my story.
Yeah, but we're in his shoes. What do? You got to end it then, right?
So he has
I
to
don't know.
divorce her because the wife is a St. Charles native?
Or lower the standards of the country club he wants to go to. They might let her in at Bogey Hills or something.
Yeah, you think they say that at Bogey Hills? She's got too much Clayton in her.
Dude, you could easily just go to Normandy, pay $1,000, and you got a membership. And they don't judge how much St. Charles you got. I guarantee you that. I've seen that course. I've seen
They want a
genes.
blood sample. They can tell what side of the river you're from.
Well, the reason
Check your mitochondria, see if you drank from river to pear.
The reason it's a lie is because every time he calls in, he brings up some country club that he says I'm not a member of, but I was there.
So you think he's just a guest all the time?
No, he's making it up that he's a guest every place. He was probably over at Tower T hitting balls and...
And Tower T wasn't going to give her a membership?
No, he made the story up.
He got blackballed from Tower T because they found a receipt where she bought something at Bass Pro in St. Charles. You're out.
Now, does that go on a country clubs? Hell yeah.
Probably some waiters.
Do you think the line has ever been uttered at a country club by the membership committee saying, well, I like him, but the wife, she just has too much St. Charles in her?
No, I don't believe that's ever been...
I bet it has.
No.
I bet it has.
If I got to bet $1,000 one way or the other, I would agree with Doug. I bet it has.
You might say that, no, they're from an area where they're just kind of Hoosierish and... You know, she doesn't dress nice. Nobody's going to say she has too much St. Charles in her.
As a product of Tam Avenue, I believe that this stuff goes on.
Oh, yeah, that's exact quotes not said, but like that theme is probably very common in some of the country clubs of, well, she grew up in St. Charles.
Yeah. Well, you always hear that story that St. Louis Country Club wouldn't let the Bushes in because it was beer money, and that wasn't good enough for them.
I thought it was new money. I thought that was the issue.
I thought it was beer. And then so they built Sunset Country Club and built a house out there.
That's the old legacy, Doug.
Yeah.
Well, the Bushes are members of St. Louis Country Club. One of them was.
Yeah, they are now, but I guess originally they were.
Because I think part of the divorce, one of the Bushes got the membership. So I was working there when I think one of the ex-wives had a huge party, and I was in charge of keeping people out of the party that weren't invited.
You ask about their St. Charles heritage, you're in, you're out.
You got too much beer in you.
Doug, when Alan Dadeville called into the Paul Feinbaum show, and later we would find out his real name was Harvey Updike, he explained poisoning the trees at Toomer's Corner at Auburn by saying, well, I just got too much Bama in me. And in this case, she just had too much St. Chuck in her. And that's the way that it goes.
Too far away from the river. She was deep into St. Charles County. And so we don't want you golfing here. Makes perfect sense to me.
Your thoughts are welcome, as many are sharing. I'm telling you, this Mr. Licks, people hate him intensely. Hate him, but then at the same time, love him.
Oh, really?
Intensely.
Well, he accomplished what he wanted to. The attention whore. People are talking about him, and then he gets off on that.
Here, I'll read some of it. Not that funny, Doug. Don't encourage this dunce. That's from the Concord Caulk.
Oh.
Let me break the tie, Tim. This D-bag has no life, and his calls are probably just like his real life, lonely and desperate for attention. Licks blows, but that was one of his better calls, but that's really not saying much. Get this mother effer off the air. Licks is literally a human dildo.
Oh.
Please just die, you rubber phallus. The birthday hawk says, I love Licks. Did Pouty have a butt hurt for? What does that mean? Did Pouty have a butt hit for?
There you go. The people that like him will then throw it shot at me as they're praising him.
It's 100%.
Hey, Tim, can you read a text about Iggy being a pout fish with the pout face after he returns? That's from the Kansas City.
Do you have some sort of butthurt rating, like tornadoes and hurricanes? This is a 4, this is a 3?
It's not a pout face. It's not a butthurt face. I just find him annoying and not funny and kind of a dick. So when he
this
calls
is a
in,
butthurt 4 right here.
No, I'm stating why I don't care for him. There's nothing to do with pouting.
Mr. Licks, I don't have a Lifetime Fitness membership, but I do have a toaster you can take a bath with. That's from Ned Yost, Shattered Pelvis. I didn't know that Lifetime Fitness memberships were a brag.
Yeah.
I'd love to belong there.
Somebody using the same treadmill as a Planet Fitness, but
I've never been in, and now that the place that was right next to KFNS shut down, which is where I used to work out, because that was as convenient as the day is long, that would be a place where I'd work out. I just picture it being a scene. And Doug, if it's a scene, it ain't me, Jack.
I think the cat was a member there.
Yeah, he was.
Supposedly, it's
I assume he still is.
Indoor pool. Well, the good thing about it's got a nice outdoor pool. So if you don't have a pool,
I'm sure the
you don't wanna go to a
facility's great.
public
I just
pool.
picture it being a scene, but I have no
I
idea.
don't care about that.
See, that's the thing. I just don't want anything to do with it.
You know we have one here. Do you ever use that?
Yes, Christy gave us a tour of that.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
I see
It's
Remy
nice.
walk over there after his show every day.
Really?
Yeah, I guess, God, I stay here sometimes for these meetings in the afternoon. I could use it. That's not a bad
Doug,
idea.
I just go to Planet Fatness. It's $10. $10 a month.
And it's called Planet Fatness. I didn't know that they had changed the
They
name.
only
What a
let the
marketing
chubbies in.
strategy.
I need that. I have a Y membership, blessed. But like the Planet Fitness, what the over-under? Is it 15 and a half, 3 series in the parking lot?
Is that what it is?
I think that like
I don't even know the card. I don't think anybody makes a big deal about the cars at all.
Oh,
it's in Crestwood. How much bragging can we do?
Lifetime Fitness is
in Frontenac.
That is, but but Planet Fitness is
I'm
the one I go
I'm
to
at
is
the
in
Lifetime Fitness. No, dude, people are riding, 2004 CRVs like myself, the Planet Fatness or whatever you call that.
Yeah.
I'm talking Lifetime Fitness. That's an expensive monthly membership. So it's
it's like 200.
Yeah, that's what I
250
thought.
or so.
Yeah, 250.
Tim, I worked at Lifetime when it opened. It is a scene, and that's why I left. That's from the 3-1.
Well, what is it about the scene that's no good?
Oh, clicks. It's clicky.
What, you're out there to work out?
I know. I don't know. Again, I've never been in there, so it's completely unfair. It's completely unfair. And it might be wonderful. I'm sure the facility itself is wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure the business is wonderful. I just don't need like a tee-hee-hee, whisper crap.
Sure how long it's been since I've actually been to one. I used to go to Vic Tanny.
Oh, nice.
Oh, God. That was like in the 70s, wasn't it?
I only went for the hot tub and the steam.
You ever go to Jack LaLanne's gym? Remember him? It's time for Jack LaLanne and the new Jack LaLanne show. He's built like a perfect triangle. His shoulders extremely wide, and he had about a 28-inch waist.
Now you thought you were cool because my friends Frank and Gary and my brother would work out, and I would just go into the steam room, and then you take that little spoon with the water and on the hot coals, and then go sit down with your towel on and just sweat.
There again, you're naked again, aren't you?
Jack.
Okay.
Breaking news regarding a balloon party today. This is good stuff. With all that's going on with the Blues, Jeremy Rutherford's going to be in studio with us at 10:15. That is perfect. And then the Colonel's going to be with us at 10:45. Blake Baker signing that contract extension yesterday. And Missouri taking on Kentucky tomorrow. So we got a nice little presentation for you coming up at 10 o'clock on 101 ESPN. Coming up at 9 o'clock on this award-winning program, Lisa Ann will be with us. 2-part questions, Lisa Ann, presented by Tullamore Dew. Coming up at 9 o'clock. Send your 2-part questions in for her at 314-881-TMA5. It's the Engineered Design Facilities text inbox. Munganast, the sponsor of our 7 o'clock hour, stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. Work with the best. And I can't say enough good things. I couldn't overstate, Doug, the greatness that is Munganast, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota. I really couldn't. The people are great.
Yes, they are.
The business is outstanding. It has been one of the best partnerships we have had on this show. And that's saying something because we have been fortunate to have an incredibly great group of advertisers. But for this business, which I don't think was doing a whole lot of advertising before, but the response from our audience to work with them, and I'm happy that they are because the people there truly are wonderful. Now, some people go, oh, Munganast, they're all over the place. Well, yes, they are. But the dealerships that are sponsors of this program, St. Louis Acura and Alton Toyota. And that's where we're asking you to make sure you do business. Go online at stlouisacura.com and altontoyota.com. Jamie Burkhardt, Clayton Patterson, Peter Munganast. Email me, tmckernan at InsideSTL.com, or DM me on social media, and I will connect you with Jamie, and you will be hooked up. And I'm telling you, you won't be any happier than you have now worked with the best. And the best is Munganast, St. Louis Acura and Alton Toyota, the official automotive provider of TMA and the Tim McKernan Show podcast. And Jamie Burkhardt, as I'm talking, just texted me. God bless him. The best. So
What a
email me,
fabulous
Tim
guy
McKernan.
he is.
He really is. Clayton.
The
great
best.
people. Peter Munganess, great people. And they're the sponsor of the 7 o'clock hour and the Tim McKernan Show podcast, and Appliance Discounters, the sponsor of our 8 o'clock hour. And they have a special going on for those of you looking to do some appliance shopping in the month of November. If you're in need of an appliance, Appliance Discounters has your appliance with drastically lower prices on installs. Select dishwashers have free installs, huge GE cash rebates along with other brands on kitchen packages. Interest-free financing offers are available. 80,000 square feet warehouse full of GE appliances ready for delivery right now. Get the lowest prices of the year. Black Friday prices going on all month at Appliance Discounters. And remember, you can always shop online at ApplianceDiscounters.com. Appliance Discounters, your hometown appliance source featuring major brands like GE, sponsor of our 8 o'clock hour here on the Ryan Kelly Morning After. Jackson, could you tell the people about the Wolf Pack? And it turns out Trish Wolf is truly a friend of the feather, isn't she?
Oh, yeah, boy. Getting married at he, though, you know. Today I want to talk to you about Trish Wolf and the Wolf Pack.
Oh.
You gotten to know her a little bit. She told us that story about her getting married at he, though. The Wolf Pack not only knows how to have fun, but they are experts in the STL real estate market. And they check all the boxes. 5 pillars, Doug. There's 5 pillars.
How
not
many?
4. There's 5. The
5
first
pillars.
Can you name them?
Sure. The first one's experience. They got a team of agents with over 20 years of real estate sales experience. Second one is expertise. Thousands of homes sold in the Mound City proper and the metro area. The next one's success. They are an award-winning Zillow Premier team. Fourth one is strategy, proven processes that take you from planning to close and beyond. And the final one is maximum return on investment. The Wolfpack looks at each individual situation and structures a commission plan tailored to max your ROI. All of this while sponsoring the best morning show in St. Louis. Even if you're planning...
Doug, were we voted best morning show in St. Louis?
Yeah, by the Wolfpack.
Yeah.
Nice.
Even if you're planning for 2023 or if your plans are a little up in the air, give Trish a text or a call today to begin an informal preliminary discussion. It's never too early. Reach out today for a no-pressure consultative meeting to discuss your goals. Have a real estate-related question? Text Trish at 314-807-WOLF. It couldn't be easier. Join the pack. They've got your back.
How about that?
And they don't discriminate against people with some St. Charles in them.
That's correct.
That's exactly right.
Sounds like this needs to be a full-fledged investigation. It is Friday. It is 8:46. Lisa Ann in 14 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for our drops of the week.
Oh, hit the lever button.
Iggy's Drops of the Week.
I see Verlander win one.
Didn't he win with Houston a few years ago?
Yeah, but I'd like to see him win another one.
Oh, gosh. God, I'm ashamed of St. Louis.
You were sharing stories of people masturbating on 70s.
But I just go, Sansgard.
You raw dog it.
Damn right I do. I'm bareback.
Huh.
All day long.
Pretty clear that the Tigers' defense were dialing up exotic blitz packages.
Nice.
We got some mad scientist as a defensive coordinator. Dialing them up. I don't know how you dial them, but he was dialing up, and they were exotic packages.
Well, we don't need to go swinging dong every night. I mean, we can just chill.
This is some real quality HD2 radio.
Please, child.
I was on a boat with I lost my train.
What? Good story, though. Good story.
Unbelievable.
What can play?
And I have masturbated on 72 different
Oh, come on.
Put that off.
Very rarely do you get a boner at Hito.
That was some first-rate teasing.
Yeah, like my fake Rolex. You know how many times that got me laid?
Probably none. People would just look at your watch and say, okay, I'm going to take my clothes off.
Huh?
I assume it's an adult star because you don't talk about much else.
No, if it's close to 2 o'clock, I could have said hi to Lauren.
Oh. Now we're getting down to it.
I have no clue what to think week to week.
I know the difference between the two, but they're both good-looking guys with great hair.
Were you a stool pigeon leather?
I don't even have a splashback.
You mean a backsplash?
Backsplash. I mean, I'm doing everything backwards.
I did Hedgestone, so you're safe on that one.
Is that dyslexic? You do everything?
Dyslexic.
Everything backwards?
That was that whole thing.
Didn't I didn't even say Stonehenge. I said Hengestone.
Yeah.
Ledge stones.
I'm doing everything backwards today.
They have a natty, boys. I don't even know what these words mean anymore. One guy's a bucket, the other guy's a natty boy. What are we talking about?
Well, you don't know how my connections work, so just be quiet.
What's up with the Blues? The wheels are coming off the train track, Dave.
Yeah.
That was just word vomit. I recognize that voice. Who doesn't?
I'd like to see some bears in the woods.
Yeah, Bob Cousy's autograph.
Did you?
That's awesome.
Is he still alive? Alive or dead? Bob Cousy?
I think he's gone.
Bob Cousy's alive.
I thought so.
He has a very racy Twitter account.
People like trophies.
Yeah, just in general. Just in general, people like trophies.
Schools like filling up their
trophy case
with trophies. That was pretty good, actually.
JV golf coach.
Depressing.
Looking for a diabetic's hole?
Oh. What about that Marsh guy? Could we add him?
Oh, he is awesome.
When's the last time that guy washed his hair?
I don't know about the wash. He doesn't cut it very often.
But it just looks greasy.
I like taking her from behind.
Man, this story would only get juicier if he would have slept with the husband.
That was Iggy's Drops of the Week.
Doug, you got to feel good about the work we're doing here.
I don't feel that good about it.
Gold Star Plaza.
Yeah, it was. There wasn't a lot of them, but a good batch.
Yeah, it's about quality, not quantity.
That was a quality take there, Tim.
Nice.
Clip that off.
Major lemming move.
I understand Chris Raby's put together a magical audio postcard.
This one is special.
Is that right?
I love a live studio audience, so it gets me more than
Wow.
other people.
Well, then let's see what we got going on here, Doug.
Okay.
Can I heat up my.
Have you heard this, Plowhawk?
You need food while this plays?
Well, it gives. I guess I can wait for the cuts of the week. I'm gonna heat up my breakfast sandwich, but yeah. Here it is.
For heaven's sake.
Pepper and Genie is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Pepper and Genie.
Pepper and Genie. This is so
And now the Pepper and Genie Show with Darren Adkins and Ken Strode.
There it is. That's the open.
Okay.
Can we play this one?
Welcome in, Pepper and Genie, Flowsy, Iggy, and Welly in again. He'll be in again tomorrow. Just come in every day at 10 o'clock and just do this with us.
I feel like he's like, I can't say no to these schleppers, so I'll make sure I'll come into Pepper.
That's not it at all. I would be happy to say no.
There's nobody else we could put on. I mean, Raby just comes in and starts talking. We don't ask him to come in. He's just in here and starts piping in.
Has Raby been on Pepper and Genie?
A couple times. Each one, for sure. So being a pro golfer, in terms of the equipment, does he get free equipment all of the time? Do they request it? Is it just sent to their house?
Good question. Not a swag bag. So
Jay and I used to have a deal.
Yeah.
For fairways and greens.
Oh, absolutely you did, I'm sure.
God, we'd get a new set of clubs every year. We had a deal with our guy Billy at FootJoy. Lived in Ladue. And before every season, we'd go over to his house and he'd go out into the garage. Hey, boys, what do you like? Pick 2 or 3 you like for the year. And we're picking out the saddle shoes. We're picking out the white FootJoys. He gives us 10 gloves each.
It's a cool feature of professional golf.
That's the reason I'm still doing radios for the free stuff. We made so many connections, and we would just put people on the air. I remember when Atragon came out with their new driver, and they just signed Nick Price.
Okay.
Who pretty much busted that company. They spent all their money on him, and then he didn't play well with it, and they went out of business. But
I never even heard of
Atragon.
And it was a driver?
Yeah, I still have the Atragon driver at home.
Now, the cool thing, he just...
Death Stick came out. They had Alice Cooper was their sponsor.
Makes sense.
They gave us all irons and bags and putters, and I still have some Death Stick putters. Titleist, we got into a great relationship with Titleist. So it was just balls and clubs every year. I got into a great relationship with Nike to the point where I was getting drivers, clubs, bags. Then my best was TaylorMade. Got into a deal with him until he retired. But every year, new driver, new set of irons.
I think
all the shirts back when they still ran Adidas.
Well,
I have never bought a bowling ball in my life. I've never bought a set of golf clubs in my life. I got into radio into Kegler's Corner, never paid for a ball.
If one or
the two sports I love and have been playing since I was little, I've never bought a bowling ball. I've never bought a Now, the reason I brought that up was not to brag that I get free clubs and free balls. I don't pay for golf.
I'll answer this question to give you guys some time to think.
All right, that'll do it. My topic is going to be on dreams, but maybe we'll come up with something. We'll be back at it again tomorrow, Tuesday, right here on Pepper and Jeannie. Welly, Plowsy, Iggy Withyard, TMA STL, Hubbard
The studio audience really helps, doesn't it?
Did that open?
You guys did that in front of a studio? Where did you do that? Was that at Stiefel?
The times where like the crowd goes, ooh.
The crowd said when it does the Edmonds drop, they go hot takes. If you play that first part, that first part one more time.
And now the Pepper and Jeannie Show with Darren Adkins and Ken Strode.
There it is. That's the open.
Okay.
Yeah,
the crowd, they seem to love the show.
They really are into it.
Now, I know what you did there, Raby.
Oh, no. You're going to bring us down?
Oh, no.
You just had a good laugh.
Well, no. He edited it to the point where he always made it sound like Wellington was ready to talk, and then I interrupted him and started talking over him and talking about myself.
I'm going to cook up that sandwich. Give me 2 seconds.
Well, you can't wait just a couple of...
So
okay.
Don't drop an F-bomb here, else it's not.
Ours is a type of show where the hosts feel they can come and go at their leisure.
So that's what he was trying to do.
So you didn't like the
No, it was funny. It was funny, but for people who don't know that he's editing stuff, that's what he did. He just had Wellington start to talk and then stopped it and then had me jump in like, God, did you ever give that guy a good chance to talk? So that's not what happened.
Oh, the studio audience thing. He did it once for Biffin Show. Biffin Show with a live studio audience. It never fails to make me laugh.
I read once they got some of that studio audience laughter from the old Red Skelton show.
Oh, is that right?
That's
old school.
He would do a comedy bit every week called The Silent Spot, where he didn't say anything, but acted, in like a mime, and the crowd thought it was so funny, and there was no other noise in the studio, so they could use the laughter and put that on other shows.
Yeah, that's cool. The studio audience thing, that was popular. Like Seinfeld had a studio audience, and then it would get kind of crazy when Kramer would walk in. They wouldn't stop clapping.
Yeah. A lot of them. It's just like too much.
Yeah, it is kind of weird too. Like if you think about it, like watching TV, but you're hearing other people laugh.
Yeah,
it's kind of odd.
You have to be told when something's funny.
Right, but they write the show knowing that there's a studio audience. So if there was no studio audience, they'd write it different. So the jokes would be different.
Yeah.
Did Leave It to Beaver have a laugh track? I don't believe it.
Tony Do.
I don't think so, no.
I'm trying to remember.
That was a studio audience?
No. I'm trying to remember if there's ever laughing in the Leave It to Beaver show. If it would be a laugh track. I don't think there was any laughing.
I don't think so. I don't think Gilligan's Island had it either.
No, and there's some shows that, like not Married with Children, that had a laugh track. No, I think there might have been a studio audience, Married with Children. I think that was one of the first shows, and maybe Archie Bunker, All in the Family.
Really?
But I like it better like Modern Family. Funny as hell. I don't think it would work if you had a laugh track or if you had a live.
I agree. Yeah. One of the reasons I think I loved the Larry Sanders Show is you had to catch the joke. The laugh track wouldn't tip you off. Yeah. Same with The Office. 15 years later, Office was probably a decade or so later than Larry Sanders debuted.
But you don't get them on movies, and some movies will still make you laugh out loud.
But I noticed, I don't like Vegas Vacation in comparison to National Lampoon's Vacation, European Vacation, and Christmas Vacation, because if you notice, when you watch that they kind of did weird sound effects when there was supposed to be a laugh in Vegas Vacation. Did you notice that, Jackson? I know you own goodorbad.com.
A lot of slide whistles.
Yes, slide whistles.
Yeah,
that's what they use.
Super weird. But like I was kind of saying with Seinfeld, Big Bang Theory gets panned on this a lot. It's like the writers, they write the show knowing that they have a laugh track, so they kind of pause for laughter and stuff like that. Whereas Larry Sanders is brilliant, but they don't have a laugh track, so they write it differently. That's how I kind of feel the difference. And Larry Sanders is more subtle than maybe Seinfeld is, so it's better without a laugh track. Same with The Office. So the subtlety, the little jokes are better, like the drier humor.
Well, I think Pepper and Jeannie should have a laugh track every time you do a show.
like
now.
that.
It's a lot of post-production.
The media laugh drop we have is one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's a real good one, too. Real good one.
Jim Haslett, regular George Carlin, apparently. We're in the Michelob Ultra Studios. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. Michelob Ultra, sponsor of the studios here on the Ryan Kelly Morning After. What a delightful surprise for those of you not listening in the Munganess 7 o'clock hour with Casey from WIL. Really absolving the soul of the Plowhawk by revealing that she does not recall the fragrance he left behind in the restroom. Nor does she recall him bumping into her in a dark studio at 5 a.m. and saying oopsies. But she was not happy with Ken's fish and his breathing while she was in studio. So that's what we learned today.
God, that breakfast sandwich looks great that Plowsy had.
What do you have there? Is that a sausage biscuit, bro?
Mm-hmm.
What's on there?
Nice
Sausage,
tastings.
egg, cheese, muffin.
People don't mind the smell of that, though.
Looks like a biscuit more than a muffin.
It's a biscuit, yeah.
Yeah.
Clip that off.
Boy, it looks good.
Where's that from?
Where'd you
My
get that?
house.
Oh.
You make that up? You whip that up, bro?
No, this is from Riverside Golf Course.
That's where you get your food, Riverside Golf
They're known for
Course?
their breakfast sandwiches.
Theater.
Now, your significant other used to work there.
She worked out like once a month.
Oh, and brings home these
And so she'll
sandwiches.
bring a little side goodie bag for me. And
What a little treat.
absolutely. The mini, those little mini powdered donuts?
They have seafood at Riverside.
Riverside.
How's the seafood at
I
Riverside?
don't think they have a situation there
Oh.
at Riverside with the seafood sitch.
Okay.
Doug Jackson has just entered the Michelob Ultra
he's
Studios.
going to start hitting buttons.
All right, let's take a commercial break so we have as much Lisa Ann as possible. Send your two-part questions in, 314-881-TMA5. This closes out the appliance discounters 8 o'clock hour. Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour with Lisa Ann, the Burrelli Cutlery Cuts of the week, and the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day coming your way. And then at 10 o'clock, we'll be on 101 ESPN. Jeremy Rutherford in studio at 10:15 with us, and Gabe DeArmond with us. Brought to you by James Carlton. That's coming up on Balloon Party. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After for the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Get the TMA mobile app and enable notifications so you don't miss a thing. See our content on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Stream us on the TMA mobile app and at TMASTL.com.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. And James, I love getting emails from listeners who support the sponsors. I got one last week from a client of yours who switched, and you immediately saved him $1,000, and it meant the world to him.
The area that we're really having an impact on people's finances are people with drivers under the age of 25. We're seeing material savings for these types of clients, hundreds, if not even thousands of dollars per year.
James Carlton, Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency, 314-961-4800, or go online at carltoninsurance.net.
Celebrate all your college and fantasy teams' Tully touchdowns this weekend with Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey. May your team be swift and their aim be true. May the refs be forever in your favor and your whiskey always Tullamore Dew. Tullamore Dew, the original triple blended, triple distilled, smooth sipping Irish whiskey, made exactly for game day moments like this. When it's game time, it's Tully time. Tullamore Dew Irish Whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume. Imported by William Grant & Sons Incorporated, New York, New York. Please enjoy Tullamore Dew responsibly.
The Tim McKernan Show podcast, featuring long-form interviews with people from the world of sports, politics, and entertainment.
And our guest today, Bill McClellan. Thanks so much for coming in.
Hey, my pleasure, Tim.
What's up, Caden?
Hi, how are you?
Joe Buck, our guest today.
Man, it's like I haven't seen you in years.
More than 500 episodes and counting, and it's available wherever you get your podcasts, including the TMA STL app. Get the app now at TMASTL.com.
Hi, this is Trish Wolf from the Wolf Pack at Worth Clark Realty. And the home selling market might look a little bit uncertain right now, but if you've got the Wolf Pack on your team, that's going to make all the difference. We're going to help you with staging and tell you what kind of upgrades to make or to avoid. We're going to put our social media to work for you and get you your maximum exposure for that home. So while home values are holding and inventory's still low, let's jump on board and get that house listed. And if you're waiting until spring, it's never too early to get started with that planning. So give me a call today at 314-807-WOLF, or you can always find us at trishwolf.com. Join the pack. We've got your back.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Get the TMA mobile app and enable notifications so you don't miss a thing. See our content on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Stream us on the TMA mobile app and at TMASTL.com.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
Okay. Hot takes.
Yeah.
Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie.
And now the Pepper and Genie Show with Darren Atkins and Ken Strode. All right, take it, fellas.
There it is. That's the open. Pepper and Genie.
Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie. Pepper and Genie. We don't know what it is. We don't understand the name. We just know it's stupid. And it's available every weekday, featuring Iggy and the Plowboy. Apparently it's some kind of a podcast or something. Available at tmastl.com and on the TMASTL mobile app. Whatever.
With the fall's cooler weather upon us, we hope you'll let Lime Concrete Block help you with all of your landscaping projects. They've been a locally owned and operated manufacturer since 1947, priding themselves on their quality of their products and the customer service they provide. Lime Block offers a complete line of fireplaces, outdoor living kits, decorative retaining wall blocks, ready-mix concrete, masonry block, as well as concrete parking curbs and air conditioning slabs. Please visit their showroom off South Broadway at 326 East Courtois or visit them online at limeblock.com.
Hey, if you like the morning after, check out Balloon Party on 101 ESPN. HD1, by the way. It's sports talk with Tim McKernan and Action Jackson from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. each weekday, right after the morning after. It's the worst named show in the history of radio, but the content's pretty good, so check it out on 101 ESPN or get the podcast on the TMA app.
Here's Action Jackson with 3 more ways to get TMA content.
Check out listener rewards on the new TMA mobile app. Watch the show live on the TMA studio cams. Find it at tmastl.com. Get the podcast on the TMA app. Download it now.
Thanks, Jackson. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on 105.7 FM HD2.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
I mean, what the hell is going on?
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
KPNT FM HD2.
Collinsville, St. Louis.
Give me that daddy butter. Give me that daddy butter. Give me that daddy butter. Remix. Give me that daddy butter. 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 I'm a slut. I'm a stepdad. I'm a slut.
When we were in the studio doing this, I never dreamed of being
I'm a
that
stepdad. I'm a slut.
There's something to fill out the album.
I'm a stepdad.
And
I'm
it
a
exploded
slut.
in the clubs.
Yeah, in UK charts, this has done really well.
Give me that daddy butter.
Yeah, Seattle's a big hit.
Yeah, grunge scene.
Give me
Yeah.
that. Give me that. Give
Chris
me that.
Cornell.
Give me that.
This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After, and it is our Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour. And what an hour we have for you. Lisa Ann going to join us coming up here, brought to you by Tullamore Dew. And then the Bert Early Cutlery Cuts of the Week. We finished off with the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day. And then on Balloon Party, Jeremy Rutherford in studio as the Blues continue their struggles. Can't wait to talk it over with him at 10:15. Missouri, Kentucky tomorrow. Gabe DeArmond will join us coming up at 10:45. You have Pepper and Genie. Doug, did you see Pepper and Genie is now featured on the cover of Meadowbrook Country Club's monthly magazine newsletter? I don't know what you would call it, but either way, Plowhawk, you, Ken Strode, and Chris Nagel, the cover as you guys walk to the tee.
I need to get me one just so I can have that, put that on the mantle. You know, maybe put it in a shadow box with all my other
I would think so.
collectibles.
Yeah.
But that's hilarious. That they are so good. They play ball. They were so.
They really did.
They were so freaking nice out there. It's just insane.
I love that place.
And you guys got your free
Unreal.
memberships there?
I
We do.
wish.
They wanted us to be honorary members.
Yeah.
I would be a member there if I mean, that place was just fantastic all the way through. Great event, great people.
So you can check that out. That's on the TMA Instagram. I believe it's on the Twitter tweets. It's on the TMA fan page. And that is all there for you. Don't forget, because I noticed that this is starting to happen, as it did last year around the holidays. If you would like a sound story, make sure you book it ASAP, because we get filled up in November and December. Go to mysoundstory.com. Doug is available. I am available. Jackson is available. And learn from KC95 is available. MySoundStory.com. You come into the Hubbard Radio Studios with the professional equipment and production and do the interview, whether it be for your family or a family member coming in and doing it, and choose whoever you would like to do the interview, or for convenience sake, it can be done over Zoom, and you will always have your family story or your story for your family forever, and it's a gift you'll never regret giving. Get it taken care of right now. MySoundStory.com. You can schedule it or get the gift certificate right now. MySoundStory.com. It is our Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour. Maggie O'Brien's. Make sure that you catch the game and a pint at one of their 2 locations in Sunset Hills and downtown. It is our pleasure to welcome to the program here in our Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour, making her glorious return fresh off of a trip to Switzerland. Doug, it's time for Lisa Ann, presented by Tullamore Dew. Listen to the gallery.
All right.
Never heard of Charged. Hi, Lisa.
Very nice.
Good morning, everybody. Yes, I am back on U.S. soil. I got back last night around 7-ish, made it to the taxi in time to listen to the first half of the game, made it to my place in time to shower during halftime, listen to the second half while I unpack. I'm here for a quick 20 hours before I fly out west today for my charity walk in Huntington Beach tomorrow morning.
Look at that.
Oh, you're a globetrotter is what you are.
Just a globetrotter, and I will tell you I'm super glad I've reached the status that I wanted to reach with American Airlines as of yesterday. So
Oh, really? So what does that status give you?
I like executive platinum. It gives you everything. You know what I mean? You're always getting upgraded. You can check 3 bags, even though I don't always check bags. Just a lot of amenities. The lounge, you want to earn it.
Nice.
It's so fun to earn it, yeah.
So where did you fly? You flew
I
straight
did.
nonstop? Can you go nonstop? I assume so. In St. Louis, we got to go to Phoenix to get to Chicago. So I'm curious how it works going back from Switzerland.
Switzerland, I did not do it. So I did a layover in London on the way there because I love Terminal 5 at Heathrow Airport. Gordon
we all
Ramsay has
do.
a restaurant called Plain Food, Plane, of course you probably assumed. And I like to do a lot of shopping. Duty-free perfume and sunglasses is my jam. Every trip I take, and usually a piece of jewelry or 2. Perfume that is like, $400 or $500 here is like $150 at duty free. So I come back with like 10 new bottles of perfume, which
Nice.
I did. And then on the way back, I wanted to lay over in Helsinki. I'd been to Helsinki before. I did a 10-day trip there in 2009. And wanted to lay over there because I like the access to some of the stores. I look at the shopping. It's always about the shopping. And I like to stretch my legs a little bit. And then it was an 8-hour, 45-minute flight from Helsinki to JFK.
Look at that, Doug. Not bad.
Yeah.
And
Why don't we go to Switzerland?
I think I saw pictures of you, like hang gliding, or what were you doing?
I did paragliding off the Swiss Alps. So started the trip in Zurich. Then I hired a private driver to drive us to Lucerne, which is a really beautiful city, and it's only an hour by train. But I wanted the driver because I wanted to do about a 4-hour trip. There were some things to see, like this church that I posted photos on my IG that is just unbelievable. You're talking about buildings that are structures that are hundreds of years old. Then there's a magical lake, part of Lake Zurich, where the mountains meet, and they consider it to be a magical lake. I took a content creator who flew a drone over the lakes. We got some really cool footage. Then drove to Lucerne, then stayed there for a day, then took a train to Interlaken, which was really recommended to me to see Interlaken, one of the coolest places, high altitude, and that is where I paraglided because it's the highest peaks. So there was a little bit of snow on the top. They're still experiencing fall, don't really hit winter till December 1st, so it was cool but not cold. A nice 30-minute paraglide over the city, and just really, it was exceptional. And then we took the train back to Lucerne, train back the following day to Zurich, and flew out.
Wow. Now,
It was
let me
an
ask you
awesome
this.
trip.
Let me ask you this. When we talked to you 2 weeks ago, I've never heard you more smitten. Doug, you described her as the smitten kitten.
Smitten kitten.
A woman in love. I think, if I'm not mistaken, you had banged like 7 times that evening.
We've probably done it 20 more times since then.
So it's still going. All right, it's still going
But
on.
mind you, I left for this trip and I haven't been able to see him, and I can't see him till I come back on Monday. So we have some makeup territory to really get to, which I'm scheduling into my schedule priorities to make up for the stats that we're losing. I don't want to lose yardage. You know what I'm saying?
So
our
you
yards
landed
after
at
catch.
JFK, and this gentleman was with you essentially immediately when you got back to.
No, I haven't seen him. I
Oh.
won't see him till I come back from LA. See, this is the problem with me in relationships. I have a lot to do. I knew I was going to have to get home, listen to the game to prepare for radio today, fill book orders that came in while I was gone. I've already made 2 runs to the post office this morning. Book a bunch of other stuff. As soon as I get off with you guys, I'm going to get my eyebrows done. Like, all these things in between all of the other things that I'm doing. I need to unpack everything and repack for this trip. So I put him on a, like, no, I can't see you till I get back Monday.
Wow.
I know
And so this thing is still as hot as ever.
Yeah, it is, but things cool off a little bit. What Monday night, I plan to get it in and be right back there where I was and see if it's the same, right?
Oh.
But we did. We stayed connected during the trip. We talked. We FaceTimed. We had the time change to kind of back and forth, kind of tricky. But yes, fantastic. We'll see where this thing goes. But right now, I'm on Lisa travel high, right? Where it's like I just got to explore, and it reminded me how much I love being places other than the U.S. So like he kind of got pushed a little bit, but he'll be back in, once I see him on Monday.
All right, Monday.
You sure got a lot of energy to do everything and schedule everything down to the last minute and fly all the time. What's the secret to maintaining that energy level?
I did get a good 6 hours sleep so I could be on U.S. Time zone as soon as I got in. Like, I watched the game, and then I went right to bed till about 4 o'clock this morning. I just do it, Doug, because you know what? Whenever I grovel about being tired or complain about something I have going on, I always say to myself, like, first of all, I'm my own boss, and it's absolutely my fault if I have too much to do. And secondly, I feel such a sense of gratitude for having so much opportunity, so many people that rely on me.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that I didn't want to miss this walk, even though I knew it was really going to be tough to get back in for a day and then fly again. But I'm like, I've done the walk in person. I love the people that work in the Orange County division for the walk to end alls. And so, like, I knew that I want to do this. This gives me a little boost of energy just being a part of it. So I just tell myself, Doug, how lucky I am to have so much opportunity, so many people in my life, and so many things to do.
It sounds like, though, that you will not have time for 2-part questions. Just 1 part today?
I will. I made my eyebrow appointment. It's not till 11. It's only 5 minutes away. I'm not going to leave out these. Daddy Butter, we need 2-part questions.
Clip that off. Real quickly, any tripping in Switzerland? Doug wanted me to ask, but he didn't have the nerve.
There was no tripping in Switzerland.
Yes.
I was, you know what? Because I'm so hot and heavy on the guy, this was the very first trip where I didn't pack condoms, and I did it intentionally because if I packed condoms, that meant I was going to hook up with somebody else. And normally, I pack condoms as hope. Like whenever I put condoms in my suitcase, I'm like, you have hope that something great could happen on this trip. That you will need these condoms, right? If you don't pack condoms as a single person, you have no hope.
Oh,
do you pack condoms?
No, I don't travel that often.
But when you do travel, don't you think maybe you could be like a George Clooney Up in the Air situation where you meet the woman and then you're like, oh no, and you don't want to be running to a random store and buying something, or maybe they're not as easy to find as they are here.
Well, if she doesn't have any, we just do oral.
Oh.
Speaking of that, though.
Speaking of oral.
Well, I wanted not oral, but I wanted to ask you. You said you did some FaceTiming with him while you were in Switzerland. Would there be nudity involved in your FaceTime? Did you get into that?
There was not nudity involved in my FaceTime. I will say that I did one night answer. I'd just gotten out of the shower, and I answered my FaceTime naked as I was like putting lotion on. Did not realize that he was in a place with other people.
Oh.
So that was when I realized we should probably discuss this beforehand, and so I didn't do it this trip.
What a nice little treat.
Someone got an eyeful that wasn't supposed to?
Yeah, everybody at the dinner table, yes.
Oh.
Like at the table behind him, yes.
Oh.
I'm just standing there talking to him. He's like, I'm at a restaurant right now. I'm like, oh, I'm naked in my bathroom right now. We should probably wrap this up.
Dog, it's so naughty.
So naughty.
Lisa Ann is taking 2-part questions. She's with us every Friday, presented by Tullamore Dew. Let's see. I'm just going to go just dead in order because we seemingly have record-breaking numbers of questions this week. Hey, Lisa Ann, I have 3 things for you.
Okay.
Number 1, what do you think about Stump Mitchell? Doug, is he still playing?
No, I thought he's been retired 20 years or so.
Okay. Number 2, our elderly intern wants you to know that once he found out that Tim never watched your porn because you guys now are friends, he decided that he all of a sudden has not watched your porn either.
I think I told her that a long time ago.
And number 3, please give the said orange-tinted elderly intern a pep talk. He's been extra pouty since he found out you are off the market. That's from the 314.
Yeah, that's not true either. So
I don't really see Iggy as orange tinted. Did you spray tan and I don't know it, Iggy?
No,
Is that
it's
what
just
happened here?
they make things up. They run out of things. So it's a pumpkin. It's a leather catcher's mitt. It's whatever they come up
Ash
with.
and sweet potato.
Listen, I've had even really like fans at like the first conversation. And by the way, I was thinking when I was in Switzerland that I wouldn't have this conversation, but I did. You know, everyone seems to want to tell me when the last second was that they did their business to my movies and how many years. And you know, every kid's like, you've been a part of my life since I was 10. And I'm like, that's super creepy. You shouldn't have been watching content at 10. But they tell me these things. And there was a lot of language barrier because German is spoken, some French is spoken, so there's a lot of, but they still got it out. But I've had fans who get to know me and then tell me like, I can't watch you anymore, and I'm like, oh, I'm really sorry for that, but it's kind of cool because now I'm not as thinking that you're watching me while you're talking to me.
There you go, eh?
Okay.
Yeah, but I just
He's okay with that.
I think I totally stand that one. I said since we become friends and I can't watch your stuff anymore. I can't.
Now, since you interviewed Maitland Ward, have you been able to watch her content?
Nice question. Really nice question.
Darn good question.
Yeah, I did.
And?
I don't think I want to answer it.
What?
Doug, what in the world's going on?
You don't have to, because I had a director friend of mine who was in the city before I left my trip. We had lunch, and he's like, there's a difference between a performer and like somebody that just gets in the business because they're famous and the scene thing is different. I'm like, yeah, but her blue eyes, like to me, if it was like a POV, her blue eyes and her body, it's not, I've never watched the show that she was on before, but I still want to watch her do it. And he's like, it's just different. And I haven't had the time to do my research. I'm going to watch film, of course, maybe this weekend. I can't download it and take it on a flight. But, I want to watch film and see what everybody's talking about because it doesn't seem the enthusiasm is there behind her performance as I thought would be.
Oh, really? I'd like to know what's going on there.
Well, Iggy's pretty quiet about it. So.
Yeah.
We don't want to discuss it even.
Yeah.
Something that professionals do as we walk on set, it's very different. We handle.
Yeah, mum's the word.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here with Iggy on this one. Hey, Lisa and Aaron Rodgers, drop him or keep him. And my boyfriend Doug is taking me on a date to the Charcoal House tonight. And I think I'm going to give him access to my back door. Should we use a silicone or a water-based lube? Or would spit just suffice? Thanks.
Silicone is always best for the back door. You don't want to use the water base. So silicone is what you're going to go with. Spit just isn't going to do it. You want that glide. And believe it or not, the backdoor event can be even easier with a lubricated condom, so consider that. Huh. I would not want to put Aaron Rodgers back out there on the waiver wire and allow one of your league mates to pick him up and then see him come through with a 4 or 5 touchdown game against you. So if you're not comfortable playing him, just keep him on your bench for good measure just to eliminate the competition.
Or trade him, maybe. You think you get something for a trade for him, too.
I don't think he's got much trade value. I tried to trade him in one of my leagues, and it didn't
Nobody
get
really
me.
I did, too.
And I use Hawaiian Tropic, by the way.
For anal?
Hawaiian Tropic?
We're talking about Rogers.
But it has so many different chemicals.
Yeah,
in
that
it
seems like a
could be
high-risk
bad.
move for your
That's
lover's
a high-risk
arse.
move, buddy. No, you don't want to do that. You're better off with coconut oil. Just straight up coconut oil.
Well, I don't think that'll happen anytime in the future. But
What, with your back door, or are you using somebody else's entrance?
no, not mine. No. Somebody
Boy, I'm on one today.
I said I've only done it, I think, 3 times, and one was by accident.
And you just drop some. Oh boy, yeah.
The by accident is never good. It happened to a friend of mine not too long ago, and she was not in a good space. Yeah, the by accident is never. Gosh, I've done it 3 times in a day, buddy. I mean, but that's me.
You've had anal 3 times in a day.
Yeah, and not just on set, just with particular people where I enjoy it and we're in that frame of mind. Usually Jameson, a little bit of Jameson usually gets me there.
Well, that's why I named my son that. Good morning, Lisa.
I did not hear that.
2 quick queries. First, Duvernay or Robert Woods at wideout? And am I obligated to give Doug his class ring back if he left it deposited up me overflow pipe after a particularly brutal gape sesh? That's from Lefty Jacksmere.
I don't think you just give it back. I think you ask for another sesh in exchange for the return of lost said item. And as for Duvernay versus Woods, we haven't seen what we wanted out of Woods so far this season. I don't think this is going to be the week. So Duvernay is my play right there.
Oh, there it is, Doug. Yeah, no great, man.
And clean the class ring before you return it.
Yeah, that's the right thing to do. Yeah. Lisa and I was offered Miles Sanders and Devontae Smith for CeeDee Lamb. Should I accept? Also,
My grandfather is obsessed with one of his coworkers he thinks is fond of him. He's created a tribute wall to her in his workspace. It's even worse in the cardboard box he lives in. Should I report him before he inevitably adds her to his burial patch? Thanks. That's from Sister Catherine Patricia. That's a nun here locally.
I do think it's important that we decide who's going to get that item in the passing of said person. Like, is this written into the will? Is there an air tag taped to it? I bought these air tags for my suitcases for the trip so I could, like, watch them through the journey. We should put an air tag on that so nobody takes it from Iggy, because that's really important. As for this trade, it concerns me to have two players on the same team. Though I love what Sanders has been doing and Smith. Smith has some good games and then some quieter games. Can you make a move where maybe you take one or the other? I'm fine with you letting go of CeeDee Lamb, because I know that the chances of the Eagles losing one or two games is they have a great schedule moving forward.
Yeah,
they could finish this season undefeated. But I'd love to see if you could take a piece that isn't on the same team, just because I do not love to use the offense from the same team. But if I did, it would be Sanders and Devontae Smith.
There you go. Beer Cats doesn't have a question. He's unhappy with Iggy. Ken, Lisa Ann is on the damn phone. Put your phone away. And don't lie and say you were looking up stats or something. You just walked in from smoking. Get the phone off your lap and be present in the segment. It's from Beer Cats.
Beer Cats, shout out to our daddy friend who now has a baby that's like a year or something, maybe 2. I don't know about these things. They grow faster than I realize. But now that you guys are seen on TV, with your YouTube channel, people can notice these things, and they feel like your focus should be total. I give my co-hosts a hard time when they're on their phone, when we're on camera, because I'm like, we're supposed to be giving all of our attention. So, Iggy, tell us what you were looking at that was so important. That's what we want to know.
Text message that came in from somebody.
Now, why in such a low tone of voice? Like you really couldn't be bothered
because
much with
I
the
only
question.
asked it because Lisa Ann asked. I wasn't going to ask it because the other douchebag asked.
So you are having a beef with Beer Cats.
And you got him wrong. He's not the one that just had a kid a year or two. You're thinking of the ball sacks.
Oh, I'm thinking Spicy Wiener.
Yeah, Spicy Wiener just had
Doug,
one.
so many people are breeding.
Willingly, too.
Yeah, Nick Cannon just announced yesterday his 11th child is coming.
Is that real? That really
It's
is going
real.
on?
This guy is like, I wouldn't even shake his hand if I met him. I'd be afraid he's
you don't
gonna
need
get me
that.
pregnant, you know what I'm saying?
How many different women? Doesn't he have like 6 different
Yeah,
women?
it's like 7 or 8 different women. I love the fact that they're all like good with this. You know what I mean? Just repopulating for those of us that don't want kids. Nick Cannon covers all bases,
How with the holidays? Like, for real, could you imagine? Like, you have to have an assistant to kind of navigate the gifts and where to send them
I
and
hope he
what
does.
to get.
I hope
with
he
the
does that
age.
and not just ignore them all.
Well, no, I think he's actually. Is he a tenant? I think he
probably gets all the ladies together and has one big dinner with a bunch of. I mean, this guy's just doing the things that none of us thought were possible.
Future does that.
Who? Yes.
Future does Future?
Future, yep.
Superfuge. Yeah.
Doug Superfuge.
Who the hell
Jackson,
is
did
that?
you get the sneakers?
Still pending.
Oh man, Jackson is trying to get these fly sneakers that are going to increase his drip like mad crazy, and
Cut
he's
that
just
off.
getting bumped out of the site like nonstop.
It's crazy.
You know?
This is my third.
Increases drip.
It's my third time trying to get them. If I don't get it now,
I'm so sorry.
it's all right.
Well, Lisa Ann, first question is, which kicker do you think is packing a big hog, as this is how I determine my lineup? And second question, I'm coming off an injury to me taint due to a jackhammering sesh gone wrong. How do you suggest I ease back into flesh-pounding mode with Doug? Thanks, that's from Butchie.
Well, I think maybe you should ice the situation and allow it to heal up. Neosporin's your friend. After Neosporin, you're going to go to Aquaphor. Drink a lot of water and eat healthier foods because you'll recover faster. Well, you want to recover faster because you want to use it again, right? That's really the goal here. As for the kicker, I always say you can look at the way they lean when they do that little thing with their leg before they go, because if they're adjusting something, then you know they're there. And you look at the older kickers that have been doing it, like a Robbie Gould, even though he's on a bye this week, I would assume he's packing some heat. He's been able to stay with that extra third leg and kick those balls and get in there. Doug, you okay, buddy?
Not really. I've heard sentences I've never heard uttered before in the English language.
Well, you learn something every day's a school day, buddy.
I guess.
Clip that off. Hey, Lisa Ann, is this it for Brady? And how do I remove the hairs around my birthday hole? That's from Strode the Salami Man.
Great question. You got to sit on the floor with a mirror because you want to really get them proper. Shave always using a nice lotion shave cream, and use the mirror because you want to keep it clean. Now, if you have never shaved, you can go and get waxed. It is painful, but it does last longer. Really makes it smooth. Got to find a waxer that is comfortable with that, but they do it. Don't let them upsell you on the bleaching. I would just stay with the waxing.
It's the second time we've talked anal bleaching on the show today.
Today? Oh, good. We're hitting all the targets.
If a guy gets waxed,
Yes.
and it's a girl doing the waxing, does he ever get aroused?
Next question.
How would she know about everyone?
That's a good question.
It isn't
but
that good.
I don't think so, unless he's really into butt play, right? Then
That's
of course he
exactly
would.
right.
But
He has an
I would-
external prostate.
Yeah, but I would think once the pain hits, all the blood flow is back there because it's a quick tear of the wax. And as for Brady, man, how did they get their divorce done so quick? Is this what money does? Because
Prenup.
money-
It's prenup season.
Yeah, it's not cuffing season. It is
Yep.
prenup season.
Prenup season.
I think Brady probably should have retired last year. We never want to see a legendary athlete have such a bad end to their career. We never want to see this, whether it's
Yeah.
injuries that linger, leave like a Larry Fitzgerald where everyone's like, could you play one more season? He's like, and I'm going to travel the world and do a podcast with Tom Brady. I'm fine. So I don't know if he's done, but I definitely think this isn't how he wants to end. And now that he's divorced, what's to say he doesn't stay for one more season to try and end his career like George Seinfeld on a high note?
Wouldn't you think with the divorce, they'd both just say, you've made a fortune, I've made a fortune, I'll take what I made, you take what you made, and be done with it?
Well, I think that's what it was. That's why they had a prenup.
I'm sure, but she's worth way more money than him.
Yeah,
People
but-
thinking that, she's going to get anything from him, he's probably going to get from her.
Probably without custody and properties, because you can't just replace properties.
Right.
By the way, let me ask you this: as a woman who has enjoyed the pleasures of tribbing, and then also, of course, now passionately in love, who do you think is going to be the hotter item on the open market, Tom Brady or Giselle?
That's a great question.
Him.
Put that off.
I mean, I would have to say Giselle because, look at her. But she's going to keep her business on the low. She's such a private woman. I think Brady, he had a model before her.
Bridget Moynihan. Doug, do you say Moynihan or Monahan?
I've never said either one.
He
They have
turned
a
into
baby
a
together.
douche, though. Like, Giselle is stunningly gorgeous.
Yeah. Yeah, she really, really is.
He threw that away for a mediocre NFL season. Like, if I'm him, I'm not retiring until I'm 60 to try to make it worth it.
Of course, I feel the same way. Oh my gosh, I
I
feel
don't
the
get
same way. Like this is how you're gonna end it. Like you burned your house up, right? But I think it would be her. But I don't know. Girls are gonna be throwing themselves at Brady, because he's in the limelight. He's on TV. We see him. He's aging in reverse. Some Benjamin Button stuff for sure. But this will be interesting to see.
I don't think either one will have a lot of trouble finding another.
You don't think
friend.
they're going to be on Tinder?
No, I don't think they'll need to go on Match, Tinder, or any of these.
No.
By the way, I wanted to ask about Exotica. Did you happen to catch up with Lexi?
Okay.
In the world?
Money. Yes, I did.
This has to
She
do with
does-
pepperoncinis.
She does remember you, and it is on my notebook to reach out to her to give you guys a little virtual handshake via email. She is willing to interview with you. She does remember
Nice.
you. We had a great laugh about it.
Look at that.
What was the
Yep.
laugh about?
Wow.
We were laughing about the fact that I told her that I told you that the only reason she was so chatty was because she was at that awful booth outside the trade show, and she's like, oh yeah, I remember that. I was so bored. I'm like, yeah, because she did like a live with him for like an hour, and she's like, oh yeah, I remember him. So she'll definitely, you're going to get the revisited interview. I was next to Stormy Daniels, who was at the show.
You're close with her as well.
No, not
Yeah, yeah. It was, I'll tell you what, that Jersey show is outrageous. I had a line. I did not stop to go to the bathroom or eat at any time. Saturday I was there for 7 straight hours with not one break. But you're making that money. You can't walk away.
Cash money comes in
Cash
large amounts.
money.
Did you meet any young starlets who you say, you know what, there's a future star in the industry?
Quite a few. I love this new starlet, Kiki Clout.
Doug, do you know
She's
Kiki
adorable.
Clout?
Kiki Kyler.
Kiki Kyler was with the
got to
Cubs.
see
Hall of
her,
Fame baseball player.
I love when I see them when we're all first checking in. I get to see how beautiful so many of these women are without makeup on. Just like she is so beautiful without makeup on.
You're gonna look
She's
her up.
beautiful with makeup too, but we've already done a podcast together. She's also very smart. She's savvy. But yeah, met a couple. You know, there's always like the guy in line that's like, you know, wants to get into the business and thinks I'm going to be his, like, you know, I'm going to get him in the business. And I'm like, just Google it like a normal person. But a lot of handshaking there. I went through 100 individually wrapped Purell hand wipes. So put it that way.
Oh. Every time you shake somebody's hand, you go.
It's probably
about
the move.
every 5. You know, it depends. Like sometimes somebody will just put their hand in my hand and it's just drippy. You know, it's just- and then that's the same guy that looks me straight in the eyes, like, "Oh, I just finished watching you," and right away I'm thinking, "Oh, his hands."
And I know she lives out there, but it'd be good to see Lainey.
Lainey lives here by me in New York. I see
Yeah,
Lainey
she
all the
lives
time. Lainey did come through, but I get to see Lainey. Lainey comes to my building. You know, I have an indoor pool, which is good for Lainey's condition with her legs, so she likes to come in here and swim. Lainey's just such a great friend of mine.
Doug, that's Lainey Spicer.
Lainey Spicer,
Good person, good person.
Lisa Ann, any value plays this week that you see? We have some injuries. We have some question marks with Jonathan Taylor, for example. Will the Buccaneers show signs of life for the Rams on their way out? What do we have? What are you giving us this week?
I think this Bucs-Rams game is the game where you're going to be getting a lot of play. Look, Cam Akers is on the talks for being back in action, which is so strange because we thought he broke up with the team like 3 weeks ago. But I don't want to play him up against Tampa's run defense, which is still decent. But I think you're going to play all of your Tampa Bay players. Value plays, like this is a week where we've also had some movement with the free agency, you know, the trade deadline. So we've got Tooney going to Kansas City. I think that's a value play. You got a lot of injuries for the Chargers, so I think you can actually play some of the Atlanta players. You might have Patterson coming back. So, you know, just roll out who's ever still standing.
Doug, a lot of injuries out there. Heads up.
Yeah.
Lisa Ann, it is wonderful to hear from you. It's wonderful to hear that you are still a woman in love. And man, I imagine Monday night it will be what Doug and I called this past Monday night an orgasm festival. And that is going to be what it's all about, isn't it?
I really would like him to break our record. Like I would like to go like 8 times in one night. So I'm gonna have, you know, order groceries that day, so I have some fresh fruits and vegetables. Got to recharge in between.
Have you ever done double digits in a day? You probably have.
I think 9 has been my best so far. I'm talking offset life, right?
Right.
But 9 is probably. But if we get to double digits, I'm bringing it next Friday. I'm telling you the whole play-by-play.
God.
But yeah, he really is quite a performer.
Is that right?
Mhm.
And this gentleman's not in the industry. He's a
Not
private
at
citizen.
all, but I do believe he may or may not have watched some tape.
Wow.
He's got the moves.
He must be about 18 years old, too.
He's 35, Doug.
Oh.
Yeah, he's only 15 years younger than me. So, but he's still, you know, good for 35. No blue chew needed.
Hey, can I ask one gambling question?
Yeah, Iggy, Lisa Ann is taking questions.
So I've seen this the last 2 weeks, and every once in a while I like to play like these props.
Yep.
In the last 2 weeks, and maybe it's because of Cooper and Hunt, I don't know, but Peoples-Jones, his total yardage reception 2 weeks in a row has been either 38 or 40. In both weeks, he's gotten 80.
Right.
Is that something that's going to keep up?
Peoples-Jones this whole season. He's one of my fringe wide receivers that's been going in lineups. I do think it's going to keep up. Now, remember something. After this bye week, everything's going to have to readjust because Deshaun Watson is going to come back. The first game he actually plays is against his previous team, the Houston Texans. I do think we're going to kind of temper our expectations for these numbers with those same players from Cleveland until we see what Watson looks like.
Okay.
Good knowledge. And I know he had a good matchup on Monday night with Eli Apple out for the Bengals, so that favored him. I recall looking at Pro Football Focus on that.
What a name, Donovan Peoples-Jones.
It is a great name.
Like a law firm. Yeah.
It is weird that his numbers are so low as far as projections goes because he has had a few big games. He also he's a boomer bust guy. He really is.
Yep.
But that's a nice observation.
Either does it or doesn't. You got to really pair him up with who's going to be covering him.
Lisa Ann, always wonderful to talk to you. Welcome back to the United States of America, and we look forward to talking next week. Have a wonderful weekend and a sex-filled Monday.
And everyone, if you haven't yet donated, the link is on my Twitter timeline, all of my profiles at The Real Lisa Ann. I want to reach my goal, so today, in between all of my shows, I'm going to be hustling hard to get donations.
Oh. Donations for what? Did we talk about this?
Walk to End Alzheimer's. I do it every single year. The walk is tomorrow at 8 a.m. Which,
God bless. Well, this is in Manhattan? This is in Huntington Beach?
Yep. I got to fly into LAX at 2 in the morning, drive down to HB, nap for 2 hours, and get my butt to the beach to do this walk. Yep. Mm-hmm.
How far do you walk?
Man.
It's a couple of miles, but it's on the beach. So
Oh,
it's
that'd
the
be
most
fun, yeah.
beautiful watch. It's the first place I lived when I moved to California, and that's why I do it in Huntington Beach.
Look
But
at that.
please donate. Help me reach my goal because they called me up on stage, and it's so exciting. I already got my champions badge, and, I've reached some goals, but not all.
All right, our listeners love you. Help Lisa Ann, help the cause. Lisa Ann every Friday here. Brought to you by Tullamore Dew. Thank you, Lisa Ann. Have a wonderful weekend, sister.
Thank you, everybody. Good luck getting those sneakers, Jackson.
I didn't get them.
Oh.
That's so dark.
See you, Lisa Ann.
All right,
She is
thanks,
the great
gal.
Lisa Ann. Doug, she's going to try to have sex 9 or 10 times Monday with this gentleman.
She could probably do it, but man, how does a guy do it?
He's got to be 18. He can't be 35.
I don't care if you're 18. You can't.
Without the blue chew?
Yeah.
I know you didn't need it, but he probably
Right.
will.
Well, even in my prime, I couldn't go 9 times in a day.
I recall there was one, and really odd, especially considering what now has unfortunately happened to my hairline. Last cut my hair, Columbia Mall. I'll give her your haircut at Columbia
You
Mall.
sure? Yeah. Yes, I did. That's
Now,
where I got
4
it.
hours later, I'm banging her. And
the hairdresser?
Yeah.
Good for you.
And we went 5 times, and I thought to myself, that's probably pretty aggressive. And yet, now that I look back on it, that was the mountaintop, And you sit there and you think, now I'm the guy at the bar talking about my glory days, And it didn't seem like a lot at the time, but now the idea of it not only is impossible, but also not something I'm really interested in doing either, candidly. I think after 2, I'd be like, boy, I'll have to shut it down and hibernate for the next couple of months. And it's amazing how in a couple of decades, you're like, I think I'm good. I know you're not, but I know I am.
I heard some guy say once the only time he was ever interested in multiple orgasms was right before the first one.
That's true.
In a bit.
It's a lot of truth.
Yeah.
It's like you're preaching. It's like a Chappelle bit if it is. It's got
Yeah.
truth and edge. Jackson, could you go 5 times, especially with that 48-hour policy you have?
What's my time frame?
Doug?
48 hours, I guess, is your frame.
2 days?
No, all day. How many times you can do in a day?
Yeah, like Lisa Ann's going to try and do this 8 or 9.
Yeah. 5 times for sure.
Look at this guy, Doug. Look at
Well,
this
if
guy.
I,
He's
if I have
ready to
all
Lexington
day.
Steel back there.
If I have nothing to do all day except that, yeah. If I could start, you start at 1 a.m., 3-hour nap, plenty of protein, do it again at 4 a.m., so on and so forth. Rinse, repeat.
There you go, Doug.
Refractory period, is that what that's called?
Is that called
I don't use that kind of terminology.
refractory period?
The time where you kind of like the
Yeah,
recharge
bounce back.
time.
Bounce
Right.
back session.
Right. Plus minus.
Yeah, God, I have, like, if somebody goes, okay, I don't know, I got to be financially motivated. Oh.
Well, a guy can control it. If you know, say it was a bet, can you do it 7 times in a day? Well, what you're going to do is you're just going to wham, bam, quickly. So, okay, that took 2 minutes. I'm done for a while. Now, you're not going to worry about pleasuring her for an hour and a half for your first one. You're just going to knock it out quickly and go take a nap for about an hour. They only took 2 minutes.
Man, that's romantic.
That is hot.
Well, I said if it was a bet that you had to get it done.
Just bang it out and take a nap.
Guys, as I may be one of the only 18-year-olds who listens to this show, I'm willing to put it to the test. Hey, Doug, I'm free this weekend.
No.
It's from Little Beer Cats.
I
Wow.
don't care, man.
You were just propositioned by an
Can't believe
18-year-old.
Last time I saw him, he was like 13 years old. I can't believe he would have typed that
It's
in.
really sad that he has his son doing that. That's...
Oh,
you guys
my
know.
God. Yeah. I mean, Doug, does that go outside of the mafioso rules?
Feels like it.
I don't think.
You leave the wife and the children out of it.
Well, he's the one that brought it in. I didn't. You got an 18-year-old kid wanting gay sex with Doug.
Nice.
I don't think he really does. Perhaps it's just a line he thought would be funny.
He texted it in.
Doug, are all these texts actually serious propositions to us?
No,
Just the fact that he texted it.
If they are, we should be on like an FBI watch list.
Yeah.
Like that thing will be
Yeah, we're
tracked
gonna
and
need
monitored.
security.
Well, here's what you do need. Making a delicious drink should be as easy and as simple as pouring a glass of wine. And now it is, thanks to Batch and Bottle's new ready-to-serve cocktails, all containing super premium spirits like the Hendrick's Gin Martini, Glenfiddich Single Malt Manhattan Raka Rhubarb, Cosmo, and Monkey Shoulder, a lazy old-fashioned. Don't spend your next party in the kitchen shaking and stirring while your guests have a good time without you like a cock. Treat them and treat yourself to Batch and Bottle's premium ready-to-serve cocktails. Batch and Bottle Premium Pre-Batched Cocktails, imported by William Grant Sons, Inc., New York, New York. And Stratum Structural Systems, the great Matt Ford, the great Brett Groman, Stratum Structural Systems, dealing with water damage, foundation, piering issues. Make sure you are now
dealing with Stratum Structural Systems. 2 I use. We had a water issue in those storms in early August and immediately got on the phone with Matt Ford and Brett Groman, and they immediately took care of it. They're the best. Word of mouth in St. Louis going around that Stratum is the company you do business with. 314-620-8153. 314-620-8153. And when you work with them, let them know you're a TMA listener and you get $100 off your repair project online at StratumRepair.com. They're local. Think Stratum. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday and it's time for our Bird Early Cutlery Cuts of the Week.
Cuts of the Week are brought to you by Bertarelli Cutlery. Visit them on the Hill or online at bertarellico.com. Cut 1.
I think a lot of our listeners fantasize about us, Doug.
Well, there's no doubt with the request we have to go private.
I am single and I am looking for a female.
Yeah. When those shower curtains come in, we can block ourselves off individually. We're going to be very busy indeed, going private.
I'm about to make bank with this crank, so give me that sheet, boy.
Now, are we going to ask for tips and things?
Oh, I'll wear one of those tip plugs.
Oh, nice.
I'll put it in the butt, and then all of a sudden you hear a ding, ding, ding. And that's when it vibrates.
You're going to have a link to your Venmo where people can just send you cash.
Right, and every time,
wish list.
Right, every time you get Venmo, the vibrator starts going.
I think it's funny that you can't see it, like, in the new studio, but I think it'd be funny if Tommy, like, we're in, like, an extended break for some reason. Tommy walks in, we're all behind individual black sheets. Not saying anything.
Hey, what would the show sound like? Whoever's not private is just vamping?
Like on our 15th minute of the break.
You just hear moaning.
Where'd the show go?
Oh, yeah, you hear a ding, ding, and then
we're all making money.
I'm sorry.
Making money on the side. Maybe that's our HD3 channel.
Going private.
After 10, we go private on HD3.
It's a growth opportunity.
Yep, it is.
We definitely need to set up at least one booth. If maybe not all of us can go at the same time, but just one booth in the corner.
I told you Madison had to connect on fabrics.
This is going to be hot.
Oh, yeah.
Cut 2.
I hear you're going to hedonism.
Nice.
That's the word.
Off. Yep. It's going to be a show trip.
This is a little-known fact, and, as long as we can keep it between us, I'll just tell you. But my husband and I, we actually got married at hedonism.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
Well, Doug, this is becoming the biggest show
now advanced.
in the history of this presentation. We have breaking news.
Can I ask what side of the resort you got married on?
Well, we kind of got married on the beach, but I tell you, we would sneak over to that other side, and oh my goodness, it's all that it's cracked up to be. I will tell you that.
Was it really?
Iggy, would you like to tell Trish that you guys have some things in common?
Well, it doesn't sound like Trish and her husband stayed on the nude side. When you say you snuck over there, did you stay over there?
No, we stayed. It all blends. It blends together. I couldn't tell you what side we really stayed on, but I tell you this, there's a line in the sand, and basically you have to take your clothes off to cross the line, and me and my husband are standing there looking at each other, and I'm just shaking my head no. Well, he drops drawers, takes off across the beach. I'm standing there alone. What's a girl to do? So, I just ran straight for the water, and when you get there, you just try really hard to maintain eye contact with people because you don't want to look down.
No.
Yeah, you got it right.
What a great moment in this show's history.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I did, Trish. The first time I got naked down there was I went down and I plopped myself in a chair right away.
Oh, did you?
Oh, my God. You and all the European guys. Those European guys, they don't care. They just strut right across, and oh gosh. It's not always a good sight.
I wouldn't think so. So. Would you recommend that our show go down there or no?
You have to go.
Oh,
yes! You got to try it once.
Yes, Doug, it's time.
All right.
It's time.
Cut 3.
Jackson, you look at the YouTube.
I sure can.
There.
Go ahead.
I had sex with her last night.
Well, you got
nice.
a picture.
Yes, I had sex with her last night. We met in a bar. She took me out to the car. We had sex. Do you believe me?
I have no reason not to.
I took this off of Google.
Well,
How
yeah,
about that?
It's not that hard.
Well, when you don't-
That was like Colonel Jessup on the stand right there. How does it feel?
Hello, Vivian. Well, when you don't even crop it out, and you have the Google search in the top, it's going to be pretty easy to decipher.
Well, I could have done all that. I just showed you how easy it is. Go
Yeah.
find a picture.
Jackson, how about that?
Here she is. I had sex with her.
But you just pulled up a professional model picture. This picture she took was a selfie.
Well, I could find many of those. I can just type in attractive selfie pictures and images, and there they are. Just go grab one.
Guys, this actually sounds like my ex-wife minus being an 8.5 and seeing if I'm okay with it beforehand. That's from the Birthday Hawk.
Oh, okay. Well, we are easily hoodwinked on this show.
But that's why
It's
we
happened
have,
to us
like-
many times before.
We have thick Kevlar skin now because of it. That's why we don't believe anything. We've been tormented in the past.
Now, if he sends in a picture, if we know who this guy is, like if we can find him, if he says, here's my name, I'm on Facebook, you go find a picture of him, now go give us a picture with both of you together, then maybe I'll think about it. But you just keep, if you want to send in a picture of a good-looking girl with tats, here she is. Oh, that's real. No.
Yeah, this isn't the early 2000s to where just a picture from the internet is going to do. Like, that's not.
What are you getting out to eat, fellas, eh?
Blueberry cake donut.
Blueberry cake.
I bet that's a good treat.
Oh, it'll be real good.
And just the idea that there's a sprinkling of blueberries in there makes it health food.
Yeah,
I
salad,
feel better about it.
Basically a salad.
Guys, I'm in awe of what I just saw. Boots feels like he just tried a case and actually did something there.
No, I'm just showing how easy it is to get nothing against Jackson. If you believe it, you believe it.
Well, I know that
but
there's
there are a lot of attorneys who are going to use that.
But to say you believe it because you saw the pictures.
First day of
No,
school,
I'm not.
Harvard Law.
Let me get out my Android.
I'm not saying I believe it because I saw the picture.
Cut.
I'll leave it at the 4.
When I pulled into the rest area, I ran out of the car and into the gratified stall. Well, graffitied stall, I apologize. The Wendy's 4 for 4 from 50 miles prior was stuck in my undilated colon. I began to cry softly, then sob uncontrollably. Suddenly, from under the stall wall, a pair of the most beautiful hairy palms reached over and began to stroke my ankles. I'm here for you. Don't chase the waste. Let it come to you. That was everything I needed. The waste practically fell out, and I could quickly open the next stall to see my new soulmate. His name was Keith, and he was everything a middle-aged dad could ask for. The face of Denzel with the body of Michael Moore. He had caring eyes and a playful fupa. We cuddled in the stall for half an hour as my wife and child waited in the minivan. When I got back on the road, I thanked the Lord for dark sunglasses so my wife couldn't see my tears. That's from Danny Tanner, Doug.
Yeah. Danny Tanner.
Oh, they got a playoff Monday.
And those were the cuts of the week.
Yep, here we are.
Yeah,
Here
just
we
like
are.
that. Here we are again. Friday rolls around in a hurry, doesn't it? Or is it just me?
Well, that's because we're firing on all cylinders.
That could be.
I would imagine the Blues feel like Friday is taking a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long
But
week.
because we are essentially on an 18-year winning streak, it feels like time is flying by.
Yeah. We're on a high here. Kidding me, fellas?
You want another
These
high?
exact cuts have been played before. Nice job, Ken. That's from Johnny
no.
Johnson.
Well, they haven't.
We cut the same thing?
Yeah, they can literally shut up.
Oh,
Honestly,
no, you're
just
upset.
shut your damn mouth.
You ever think maybe that the Danny Tanner email is pretty much the same every week?
Dude, the one with the Trish Wolf, like that happened 3 days ago. How, we didn't have cuts of the week till a week ago.
You guys
Just
are both on.
stop.
You're both on powder face.
Plowsy, don't listen to these goobers.
God, I hate people
They are
so
goobers.
much, man. You wonder why I have
Don't let
3
him
dogs.
get you. Let it go.
People are just the
Well, I'm going to cheer our
worst.
listeners up because I found this out yesterday, Tim.
Oh, what do we
Don't
have?
even
Breaking
give
news.
them-
Well, this month's prize for email of the day.
What is it?
I don't even
Oh,
have.
wow.
I don't even have to reach out. As not for today. Email of the month. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I didn't have to reach out to Jesse because I was talking to Brian Gross yesterday, as we know from the AVNs.
Of course.
And he said, "How about if we give a Maitland Ward autograph book away?"
Ah!
So the winner of this month, I will get your address and your name because she is going to personalize the autograph to that person and then send an autographed copy of the book to the email month winner.
Unbelievable.
Oh, man.
So you got that to look forward to.
A lot of people wouldn't want it, though.
I'm sure a lot of people would.
Some would, yeah. We just hope the winner would.
Well, you don't have to read it. You have an autographed book by Maitland Ward.
Yeah, Doug, we have a bunch of high-class emailers that really don't want
But it's a porn book?
a porn book sitting in their double wide.
It's like an autobiography. I'm currently listening to it. I feel like she intentionally intertwines titillating tales. Doug, did you like that? Intentionally intertwines titillating tales.
Yeah, I'll let it go.
She puts a few stories in there. Doesn't call out everybody.
Oh, I didn't know you read it.
No, I didn't. I saw excerpts. I got ready for the interview.
Cliff Note version of Maitland Ward book.
One of the
Spark Notes.
She didn't out the
Spark
actress.
Notes.
She didn't out the actress that hit her up on DMs and then they hooked up more than one time.
God, I'd like to know who that
I asked
is.
her on the air. I said, "You can let us know if you want. You can break the news here." She said,
wonder if
I don't think so.
You think Caden would tell me if it is? I'd really like to know.
Probably not.
God, I'd like to know.
Do they still have Cliff Notes, by the way?
No, I just read excerpts from the book.
Called Spark Notes when I was
Spark
in college.
Notes. Yeah, same.
Spark Notes?
Mhm.
Okay.
That's how I read Great Gatsby.
She did out, though, Tori Spelling's husband for reaching out to her.
Dean!
Saying that he wanted to know if she did private shows, private parties. And she outed him. She actually showed his DMs.
And I guess the logic was he's a married man and he's trying to...
Yeah. You're a pervert, but I hooked up with a chick, and I'm not going to tell you who that is. I'd like to know. She said mainstream actress. I'd like to know.
Meryl Streep.
I'm trying to think of some bisexual actresses.
I think there are probably plenty, but
There
they're
are plenty,
probably
but-
not out.
Yeah.
That's what I would imagine.
Black Swan was a lot of bi-curious. Heat.
Cut that off.
Portman.
Christina,
Kunis.
One of Christina Ricci's by.
Doug, you may know her from 30 years ago in the Addams Family.
These are just random musings?
No, I know her from Afterlife and Black Snake Moan and Prozac Nation, where she got full frontal.
Okay.
Finishing the week on a high. It's time for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the
Okay,
day.
sure. Yeah.
Maggie O'Brien's 9 o'clock hour. Destructive humor is no kind of humor in my book. Besides, if I mention the Lisa Ann segment, by the way, Lexi mentioned hijack, Mr. Strode will verbally question my email, thus making it lose its luster with the judges. By said interruption of Tim's magic, you should dance with the lady that brought you. And that lady is true life sexual stories I have experienced. Magic Market, Woodbine Avenue, 1989. By the bulge in the deli boy's khakis, I could tell he was good to go. He was like, go ahead and grab that last kielbasa off the tablecloth. And that is the story of the time I would shocked with shot to my forehead by a trickster when I grabbed his man meat.
What?
Come on, Kevin Miller, learn how to write.
How do you know it's Kevin Miller? We haven't heard his name yet.
Actually, his name is Noah, and then the last name is Sean, and then his middle name is Rex. Huh.
Noah Rex. Sean.
I'm trying to piece it together. I can't get it to make any sense. No Sean Rex? No.
Noah.
Not no. Noah
You
Sean
really
Rex?
don't get it?
No, I'm having trouble. I'll figure it out. It's Kevin Miller.
So Meemaw went down to the UPS warehouse to find Mr. Legs.
Meemaw.
To see what all the fuss is about. At first, security wouldn't let her in, but she then took her dentures out, and she was inside that warehouse in 35 seconds. She was wearing her TMA shirt when 1 minute a guy came up and said, hey, girl, you know who I am? I'm Mr. Licks, and I totally get on air a lot on TMA. I vacation internationally, and I have a lot of money, but this job is just to humble myself. Let's go outside to my car. Mima told me she was not impressed with him. She went to his car, which was a 2002 Chevy Cavalier with a spoiler.
Oh, really?
It was clear this was a dork. And even though Mima loves the slut life, she couldn't in good conscience ruin her brand. I mean, she literally brought Brock Nelson back to our house last night. She's 104 years old and still attracting NHL players and UPS dorks. This is not a good look for Mr. Licks. That's from Hey Phil.
Hey, Phil. And keep Brock Nelson out of it.
Last month's loss on me. In the championship game, I didn't bring my best work, and I said I'd pay the piper for it. The emailing thing is honestly kind of difficult. I had to find a way to send 12 distinctly different emails about mud.
without boring the dais. It's been the best use. It's been the best use to date of my WashU degree. But on to more pressing matters. I would like TMA's Email of the Day subcommittee to launch a formal investigation into the sudden reemergence of Ellen Foley right at the end of the month as I was hitting my stride. It is my contention that Kevin Miller paid Ellen Foley either with butt stuff or fingerings to re-enter the email ring and stop me from getting more wins. If it was butt stuff, then the proof is in the pudding that's still on that finger. Let me have a sniff and we can clear the whole thing.
No.
Suck it, lick. Stop calling. All you were doing is making me hit fast forward. That's from Danny Tanner, who believes there was some kind of scumbaggery, Doug, in the October Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling Email of the Day, and he's making a severe accusation.
He's making a
Kevin Miller.
stink. No. Danny Tanner.
Cake and Jello at the grave. Chocolate pudding, too. Do your dirty business while steadfast eyes watching you.
Oh.
Poo, poo, pee, pee, boo, hoo, tee, hee. Opposites attract. Give my tush a smack. Teach me a hard lesson. Eat it like a snack. Dirty diaper, changing station. Extra lube, wild sensation. Prop me up, go to work. Pound my butt. I like that hurt.
Okay.
Pee, pee.
All right, that's enough. Who was it, Tim?
JV golf coach.
JV golf coach has been suspended. He's been suspended a period of 2 days' time for very poor email.
And that's what we have for the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email
Hey,
today. Well, Jackson and I are on the air in like 10
That's what I'm saying. We started
I'll go
2
for
minutes
Noah
ago.
Sean Rex.
Who's the one that trashed Licks?
Was it Danny Tanner? I was Meemaw.
Hey, Phil.
Hey, Phil. I'm going with Hey, Phil.
Boy. Yeah, it is. It's, it's kind of like who won the American League Central.
Yeah, it's slim pickings here.
Why? Yeah, I'll go with Hey, Phil. Hey, Phil.
Dang, nabbit Lucas.
Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling Email of the Day. Time for us to shut it down. Bye.